Good afternoon and welcome, everybody. This would be the Jeff Cameron Show right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Great to be with you and a fine Ballsmick Wednesday to you and yours. I'm Jeff, that's Tom. We're online, ESPNTallahassee.com. That's where you go to listen live via the streaming free. Always don't miss anything, but if you do miss something, hey, don't worry about it. You can always catch up all 3 hours. Get posted upon the conclusion of the program, both on iTunes and in our own audio vault. You can always email the program if you like. It's jcs at 979espnradio.com. Find me on Twitter at jcameronshow. WTSM app for your mobile devices. And you can watch us on YouTube, ESPN Tallahassee on YouTube. Wednesday, perfect day weather-wise. You should be in a good move, shimmying to the coffee this morning, feeling the brisk air, saying to yourself, okay, things can't get much worse, right? We'll be all right.
It's currently 67 degrees at 3 p.m. on a Wednesday.
Celebration. Forget about it. It's beautiful. I want to be happy. I just want to be happy. Thank you, weather. Thank you so much for allowing a possibility of happiness in a season of discontent, a time of grand frustration, arguments amongst fans, little hope. This goodness they gave this morning. The recycle bin caught a visit from me this morning at 5:52, Tom.
Oh, buddy.
And I whistled as it happened. Woo, little nippy. Got to get back in the house. Drop off these empty water bottles and go on.
I should have put some
Clothes
shoes on my Tootsies.
Well, I've got my slide flips ready to roll by the door at all time. I was good that way.
Slide flips?
Yeah, they're flip-flops. I call them side flips.
Okay.
But because you slide on in. I can't do the thong between the toes.
Okay, I
Can't
got
do
you.
it. I know people who can. I'm not one of them. I hate them.
They are annoying.
Not the people, but the things.
Yeah.
The thong.
People are annoying. But
Yeah, well, people in general are, yes. No, but I'm talking about that. Yeah.
there are certain thongs for the
I know.
flip flops that
Can't do it. Can't do it.
they're okay. But then most of them, the vast majority,
Slide.
chafing machines on your toes.
No, can't have it. So I see where they would like us to take the blame. And admittedly, it was off-putting. I had no idea. I had raced from the show yesterday, and we did similar headlines, and we did the hour here before that. And, Tuesdays can sometimes be that opportunity to get some other business done in terms of our commercials and production and things that we do, and then also around town, getting some things done as Similar Headline runs. And I take my son to soccer practice, and my youngest, and so we make our way on home, and all of a sudden the phone is vibrating, and I thought, well, what is breaking? What news is breaking that I don't know about? Please don't tell me another player is out for the year. Please don't, because these days that's kind of the way it's gone. You just you get a sense that, oh, it's okay, it's 7 o'clock. Jimbo may be announcing something. Maybe something was on the coach's show, and I got really worried. And because it was just vibrating in my back pocket. And we got to the red light, and I saw where Benson was dead. It did freak me out a little bit because of the randomness with which we brought up Robert Guillaume.
That's right.
Rest in peace, sir.
We played the theme music last week. We had a long discussion about his filmography, the fact that he was in Saved by the Bell, the college years. The fact that he was Rafiki in The Lion King.
Yeah, there were so many elements that I thoroughly enjoyed about his career. So many shows, so many moments. I brought up Lean on Me as he was school superintendent.
Dare we talk about anybody in the next week or so that's over the age of 80? Should we just leave it alone?
Well, what I thought was funny was that young and old alike, Tom, all begged me, frankly, on Twitter, keep my name out of your mouth, please. Don't randomly just choose to discuss me for any reason. Well, folks, I would not. I mean, you'd have to have the stature of one Robert Guillaume for me to decide to just randomly discuss you.
Who has that stature?
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah, but I mean, I started seeing this one by one. Did you kill Benson, Cameron? And then I saw a lot of this. I'm blaming Jeff Cameron show. Damn it, man.
Hashtag a-hole.
Rest in peace, Robert Guillaume. Hashtag Benson. And a lot of that stuff was coming fast and furious at the time that people were learning of his passing. So I have nothing but love for Benson. It's a shame, and Robert Guillon. It's a shame that the man passed. I did not also know that he was fighting illness at the time that we randomly brought up his name a week ago.
Oh, so it was a battle.
He was struggling. It wasn't out of nowhere. It wasn't like the curse of the Jeff Cameron show somehow. You used to have the Jeff Cameron show mojo with basketball and other things that worked. We used to dole that out left and right. If you came on this show, you were rolling Big River. You were doing just fine. There's the good and the bad that comes with that over the years. That mojo shifts on you. Some years, anybody you bring up, bad news. Anything you predict goes the opposite way. Some years, you touch it, it turns to gold. You're Midas every afternoon. But I'm just telling you, I was nervous, and I thought about it a little bit, and then I read a little bit more, and I realized my man was dying anyhow.
Perhaps in retrospect, your picks on Redemption Thursday 2 weeks ago should be the Midas week. And you're searching for Midas week, and you had one, so you have one to your credit.
I do, and I'm also, continually rolling right now. You know from a mutual pool that we're in that I'm performing quite well, and that I think I had a 17-6 week or something like that. Mm-hmm. So some things are just falling into place in that regard. I didn't help Robert Guillon.
No.
But I have helped many a man or woman make a wager this year.
Well, and as you know, I had a 4-1 week on Saturday myself.
You were doing quite well.
It's just even being across the glass.
Just being in the same room.
The radiation somehow, it's impacting me to make better decisions, and it's because of you.
I don't know if that it's because of me, but, rising tide. One of those things, Tom.
Sinks Robert Guillon, apparently.
He's like, no, I'm barely holding on. No more tide. So he suddenly became an Alabama fan with a Jimbo voice.
No tide.
No tide.
No tide.
No tide. No, so I like to begin and end shows when it's my birthday by reminding everybody that it's my birthday. But it's not my birthday. It's Tom Lang's birthday, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. So let's do that. Let's begin and end the show today. Remind me at the end of the show. Okay. I didn't forget to start it though.
That's true. Yeah.
Tom Lang's birthday. And and 31 years is nothing to sneeze at. You're entering in the salad days, buddy. Everything is perfect now. You got enough years under your belt to learn what not to do, and enough young, youthful moments still remain to allow you to continue to raise the level of excellence in your private and professional life.
Well, it reminds me how long I've been looking at this here operating software. I was 22 when I started as an intern back at the old place of employment. So, the microphone for a handful of these, well, actually almost a quarter of my life now. But, yes, much appreciated. Thanks to all who well-wished today. And I throw the well wishes back to you tenfold.
There you go. And, it would have been cool. It was cool that it happened last night, and we'll document this later on when we do our Barano Heating and Air Conditioning Who's Hot, Who's Cold segment on the program. But it would have been nice if that game had shifted to today, just so the Lightning, who did win again last night.
They've had a pretty good record on my birthday and in or around, if I designate it as a birthday game.
8-1-1 currently, and only the best team in hockey, just saying. Did you mark the points up on the board?
I did. We're already at 17 for the season.
I couldn't see with this thing here. Okay.
Yeah, there's the extra two. There they are.
I didn't see the extra two. Yeah. I'm cut off here. I thought
17 through 10 games.
Got to do the extra two.
Stamkos has 20 points through 10 games.
Good things happening.
Oh,
so this is a sincere birthday wish for you, while at the same time, admittedly, a way to avoid talking about Florida State. I'd rather celebrate your birthday, certainly, than to talk about Florida State football currently.
I'm okay with that. Let's keep on celebrating. How about we make it an hour's worth of celebration?
I don't think the listeners are going to partake in a full hour's worth of celebratory discussion of Tom Lang's birthday. I think they'll probably at some point go, that's cool, I like Tom, but,
maybe I don't know that it's appropriate right now to say it on the air, but maybe years later. It's not like that, people. But I'll relay the story I told you about how my day, the first birthday celebration was commenced.
I actually think you don't have to do it today, but I don't think it's inappropriate.
Yeah, it's not. No, it's not that, people. It's not that. No. Again.
Oh, no. It's nothing to do with crazy behavior.
Correct.
It's just more to do with what would have been a stunning announcement.
Yeah.
It would have
been stunning
for you in particular.
Yes.
Yeah. Not that we would have announced it, but it would have been stunning for you to have been informed of what you thought very briefly you were being informed of.
It's not quite Gabriel appearing before me and saying, "Hey, this is how it's going to be," but it would have been stunning. Yeah.
All right, so I guess I can get to FSU football. You know what I did think about last night, and with a season that's gone bad. Somebody texted me because on headlines we'd had a discussion about what would the record be. A fan basically said, "Do you think if Deondre Francois had not gotten hurt, they'd be 5-1?" And I thought, well, no, they wouldn't be 5-1. I don't buy that. I don't think they'd be 5-1 because I think the problems here are rooted much deeper than that. But then I started thinking about it a little bit more. There's a chance they would be 5-1, but the problems would still be the problems. They would exist even with a record that is completely acceptable based on the loss at that point would only have been to Alabama.
Yeah, I think you're 4-2. I think that NC State game was a little bit difficult. I think the pressuring the passer would have been there no matter what. There would have been a lack of flow, and then the defense wasn't that great in that game. And the way NC State controlled the ball too, that was a bit of a problem. The Miami game, I think you win with Frenchie. I don't think there's any doubt. And I'd like to think that you put up more than 7 points before the fourth quarter begins with Frenchie as your quarterback. But that's not to be one who besmirches James Blackman either. He hasn't been the main problem. The turnovers were a problem last weekend, there's no doubt, and the last one cost you the game. But I think with Frenchie, you're probably 4-2. You already lost the Alabama game with him in the game. So I think you probably skate and win 1 or 2 more.
Yeah, he didn't play well in the Alabama game. But I will say this. You probably are 4-2. I agree with that. But I also think that you'd be 4-2 with a lot of problems and more need than not for change at coaching positions. I think it would be masked.
Do you think he would have inspired the defense to play, you know what I mean, like to play that much better, that he's on the field?
This is an area that I've never gotten past. I have not been able to figure out. I mean, yes, intellectually I can figure it out, but I don't, as anybody who's ever competed, and I don't even mean that you have to play at, professional football or something like that. Certainly I never came close to that, but I don't know. Maybe it's misguided. I'm very competitive. When I played organized sports of any variety, or even when I'm just playing with friends, I don't know why teams, and we're not the only one, because I've seen it at a lot of places. Ira and I have had this conversation before, and he's talked about what happens in covering teams just in general. Like when morale gets low and you're at a place where the expectation is that year in and year out you're going to compete for national titles, or at the bare minimum, conference titles, and have a chance to do something in the postseason, something these days akin to making the college football playoff. That when that goes south, when things don't work out and you have injuries and the losses mount, that morale gets low and you'll watch teams just lay down. They just don't play hard. And he's not wrong. I mean, I remember having that conversation 5 and 6 years ago with him, and I remember thinking at that time, as I do now, why? But what you're describing is true. I think you see it series to series. It's a potluck. You don't know really what you're going to get. You see moments where kids play hard in unison and look to be inspired. If for no other reason than, you're playing football and you're on scholarship and you ought to try hard. And then other series you go, wow, that's a business decision. Because I think sometimes fans say, well, if they're being betrayed by their coaches and they're not being put in a position to succeed, and routinely, whether they know the reasons or not, they're failing, and they know they're talented, and they know the guys around them are talented, then, at some point, you get so crestfallen that you think, what's the point? It doesn't matter because I'm not going to be put into a position where I can make a play. But none of that adds up to me. None of that does. I think you could have that argument in the locker room. I think you might say something to a coach in private. I think if the losses began to mount while you were playing your guts out every play, that you might have a long discussion about what the hell are we doing here. But I see too many moments from individuals It's not been as a whole, Tom. It's not like it was last year where you had entire segments loafing for long stretches at a time that raised the ire and eyebrow of fans everywhere. This is, remember a year ago that you had a lot of conversation about am I watching people quit? And hence the promissory notes, etc. I don't think that's happened en masse this year. But we see moments, especially for draft-eligible guys that are likely not going to be here. Not all. Mm-hmm. Don't want to blanket them all. But there have been several moments this year where guys quit on a play or make a quote-unquote business decision to not stick their head in there, especially against the run. To go back to yesterday, that's my biggest fear about Friday. You're facing a behemoth. And I don't mean BC the program. I mean the running back at 240 that they've been riding to 2 consecutive wins in which they've scored over 40 points. That guy's a horse. He runs like one. Do you care to tackle him?
Yeah, I think you got a lot of problems here. Number one, and we know that's not breaking news, but it's a 2-4 football team, so that's problem number one if you're just looking for motivations as you head into Friday. Number two, I think most people can reasonably agree now that with the coaching staff being the way it is and what we've seen on the field, there's something wrong. The message is not getting home. So there's a disconnect. You had injury problems. That's number three. Number four, I'd also say, and this is something that Jimbo pointed back to in the preseason last year, we're in Charlotte for the ACC kickoff, and he talked about accountability and how players hold each other accountable. I mean, it's been something that he's talked about ever since 2013, in fall preview pressers, whatever. And he's talking about how Telvin and LaMarcus and Wilder and Jernigan, those guys would all hold you accountable. I mean, who is this team turning to? Who's that? I mean, is it Derwin? Really? I mean, it doesn't feel that way, does it? And it doesn't ring that way in his comments when he's talking to the beat during the week, when you see clips of the games on Saturdays. I mean, who is it? So who are the players looking to guide them? And are the coaches making up for that gap? No, they're probably not. I think we're all in agreement on that too. So you combine all of these things, and I think this is the meal you're eating. Those are the ingredients, and here's the meal. And it doesn't taste very good right now. And you're looking at Friday saying, yeah, we've got way more talent than Boston College does, but if we don't have our ducks in a row, if they're not playing for, if they're not playing for their coaches, if they're not playing for each other, I don't know. You've got a mess. You've just got a mess here. And one thing that Jimbo said that struck me a couple of weeks ago was you still have your individual goals. Well, how about playing for each other? How about the pride of playing for a guy who like Auden Tate, who's playing hurt? How about playing for a guy like James Blackman, who's a freshman quarterback?
Or Jarquez Patrick, whom they respected immensely and has gone down now to injury.
Right.
Yeah. Well, it'd be interesting. I do think it was not lost on me yesterday how many people, it's come up more than once this week, whether it was my interview with him on Monday morning or even the call-in show, that people noted he sounds down. Well, there's a part of me, without being callous, that says good, because it shows how deeply he cares that they're not achieving to the level that would be commensurate to the talent. I don't think you should expect him to sound peppy. I don't know that you can equate a coach who's dejected currently and frustrated, and that demeanor carries across in his voice in each answer to a question, whether it be on the call-in show or this show. I don't think you can equate that with him not wanting to be here. Some of you have suggested as much in my inbox, and I've read it elsewhere too. I don't think that it's not that he doesn't want to be here. I think it's he's frustrated, sad, angry, somewhat probably lost to some extent, searching anyhow. I don't know about lost, but searching. And there's no way that, Corey pinned the column about Jimbo has always won, and he won as a player, he's won as a coach, by and large. He's had a couple of seasons where that's not true. That's every coach. But he's not used to this, and he's won here. There's no getting around that. He has won here. Now we start talking about the lack of development of players over the last 2 to 3 years on both sides of the ball, and we do get into the larger questions about why is that, and the records not being what they ought to be at a place like Florida State where the expectations are so high, and where his own expectations, as he's admitted to numerous times, are not being met. Well, I would suspect that it is a dark place right now within the realm of sport, of course. to be over at the Moore Athletic Center, to be in those meeting rooms, to be across from him in his office and having the conversations they're having to have, I'm sure that's not one that's filled with cheer.
Well, to me, it sounds so damning, but, I mean, it's fair to say, I think, at this point, you got a culture issue. You got a culture issue there. And why is that? Where is the message not getting home?
Well, that's the question that has to get answered before next season and into the offseason this year, almost immediately. Depending on how the rest of the season goes, you may be answering that question in early December.
Right. I mean, think about the offense in the post-Winston era here. And I'm not talking about the production on the field. I'm talking about who they're rallying around. I mean, that wasn't Dalvin's personality until the tail end of his final season here.
Really
but
that's
not who he was. So you haven't had a quarterback since then who is that guy. And I get it. Francois led by example, and he led by his toughness, and people
willingness to take shots,
to the toughness, but it's not the same thing. And even Sanders said that when we were at Media Day. He told me that. He said, listen, Jameis was the type to openly praise you and openly rip you and hold you accountable, but he'd always be saying something to you. You'd always be getting feedback.
You knew one way or the other.
DeAndre's punch in, his time card, go to work really hard, punch out, but it's not the same type of leadership. Now, James Blackman might be that guy, but you can't ask a true freshman.
Well, especially when one is
offense,
trying to learn his offense, and he hasn't wrapped his head all around that yet.
Adapt to the speed of the game, and then also be a leader all at the same time. That's probably a little much to ask.
Yeah, and had we been able to close the deal, where if the defense hadn't given up game-winning drives, he would have some big wins under his belt, in which he led the team to big drives in the moment. That maybe would have warranted being able to speak more if that's within his personality, and it appears that it is. But again, you have to win games. You have to perform and win games and become that leader with each passing victory. And that hasn't happened for him either.
In short, if you have a moment last year that's captured on camera in which Jimbo Fisher says to his coaches meeting and to his staff as a whole, "Where's the message not getting home?" And then you also couple that with the idea and what you can see week to week, that there doesn't seem to be a core like there was back in 2013, where you have a bunch of players who are veterans that are holding each other accountable. And then if you want to throw in the other thing about the coaches maybe not putting these kids in the best position to succeed, that's why you're where you are. It's not just about the injuries. It's not just about bad turnover luck, fumble luck, or a tough schedule.
Well, I also think that's the reason that Coach Fisher had his moment after the game. I think the realization that things have to be different, what that looks like, we'll all find out together. But he's probably kicking that around in his head at all times right now, which means really tough decisions and moments lay in wait. And nobody, when you've got something like that, a big moment, something that you have to that's going to involve good and bad, but no doubt bad, meaning you're going to hurt somebody's feelings or you're going to potentially endanger a relationship, whatever it might be, and that is on the horizon. You don't sleep well. You don't feel good about things when you're around those people. It's just a tough thing to do. And it's not to say that, hey, listen, he's not a volunteer. I always bring that up. So these are the tough decisions that got to get made in business. And I get it. You can look big picture and say, what about those kids? And what about these fans? And what about the donors? And what? No, I got you. I'm not saying that you can shirk your responsibility because woe is me, I got to make these tough decisions. No, nobody's saying that. But he's still a human being. He's still got to deal with friends that he cares about very deeply and he's loyal to, that he's probably going to, at least in some cases, I don't know how many, he's going to have to say, it's not you, it's me, but you got to go because I'm not firing myself.
It's a hell of a year. When you dust off the box or wherever you're going to keep the media guides, because I know you have a stack of them from every year.
Yeah, I do.
And Bryce is going off to college or Clark is. And you just look back and you're going through the years and then you pull up 2017. You're going to go, well, that was a hell of a year.
I'm going to go, Bryce, you turned 10 in 2017, which is already remarkable. That happens in just over a week, which is crazy. And we sucked.
But here's why.
Yeah.
This was a fascinating season.
Fascinating season to talk about.
I mean, they got injuries. They got a true freshman quarterback in there, and they didn't beat anybody.
Yeah. No, I know. It will be fun. Well, and we're still writing the rest of the story is that's the intrigue that we talk about. It's where do you go from here? Well, you got to get a win. You got to get a win. Can we start with a win? because the bowl eligibility thing is a subject that is near and dear to the hearts of most Florida State fans everywhere, right? I mean, continuing this streak is first and foremost what has to happen.
I know you half said it, tomorrow. I wish it was a Thursday night game. When you have this type of taste in your mouth, I'd rather play. Let's play a 20-game season. Just play more.
No, I don't know about all that.
Yeah, give me 20.
No, I don't want 20. I don't need 20 of these moments. Because I thought, okay, well, we sunk to a little bit of a low here, but we'll bounce back this week. And nope, sunk a little lower, but we'll bounce back this week. Nope, still getting a little lower here. All right, I don't know how much lower I need to go here. Let's go ahead and get a win. Let's just level off right here at this level, which is not great.
Let's beat Boston College.
Yeah, let's beat Boston College, which on a Wednesday we're not real sure we can do.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Neese Tire and Auto Service. Neese has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Neese Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Neese Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Landowners, Mahindra's inventory clearance sale is going on now. We're reducing prices like never before on the toughest tractors on earth. Like a Mahindra E-Max 22 as low as $99 a month. Or get up to $8,100 in cash back and savings. Plus, Mahindra's 7-year limited powertrain warranty comes standard.
I'm talking tough, like a state of mind. Tough, like a soldier on the front line. Tough when it gets rough, like my Ford truck, always enough. I'm talking tough.
Franklin Spring Creek Ford, the place to find your next truck in southern Georgia.
I'm talking tough.
Hey y'all, we're Chris and Preston from Low Cash. Head to Franklin Spring Creek Ford and see them about all of your vehicle needs.
Dale Earnhardt Jr., BuickGMCCadillac.com. The coast is here. Wharf Casual Seafood is a family-friendly restaurant serving high-quality fresh seafood at a great value since 1986. Wharf Casual Seafood's philosophy is that seafood can be affordable, fast, and top-notch quality all at the same time. No one brings families together like Wharf Casual Seafood. Visit their Tallahassee locations on Bannerman Crossing and the newly opened Mahan location at the Costco shopping area. Open 7 days a week. Visit wharfcasualseafood.com for more information or to order online. No need to drive when the coast is here.
Redemption Thursday on the Jeff Cameron Show is brought to you by FranksAutoWorld.com. Ranked by Car Gurus as the best used car dealer in Tallahassee. Check out the best selection of pre-owned vehicles in Tallahassee at FranksAutoWorld.com.
It takes 4 essential ingredients to brew Bud Light: barley, rice, water, and hops. But this is a 30-second commercial. So here's the sound of barley malting. It's super quiet. Sorry. Here's to the beer you can always count on. Brewed to be America's favorite light lager. Bud Light, famous among friends. Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer, AB, St. Louis, Missouri.
As a Marine serving in Afghanistan, I conducted logistics patrols in some of the world's most dangerous places.
The Sport Clips Help a Hero Scholarship Program helps U.S. military veterans like Jacob Dietz gain the education and training needed to transition into civilian life.
When I came home, I was ready for a new mission. The Sport Clips Help a Hero Scholarship is helping me get a degree in electrical engineering. Help a Hero took a load off me and my family.
You can donate to Help a Hero at all participating Sport Clips locations. Just ask your Sport Clips stylist or look for the Help a Hero donation box. And on Veterans Day, November 11th, Sport Clips will donate $1 for every haircut. That's what we call making your cut count.
My name is Jacob Dietz, United States Marine, and I'm saluting you.
Sport Clips. It's good to be a guy. To learn more about the Sport Clips Help a Hero Scholarship Program, visit sportclips.com.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. Here's what's happening. Game 2 of the World Series in the spotlight for the Dodgers and Astros. Rich Hill, Justin Verlander. Game 2, 7 Eastern, ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. NFL, as expected, injured Dolphins quarterback Jay Cutler out tomorrow night against the Ravens. Left tackle Laramie Tunsil is questionable. Browns rookie Myles Garrett in the concussion protocol. No word yet if he'll travel with the team for Sunday's game in London. The Browns named Deshaun Kaiser their starting quarterback for Week 8. In Sunday's loss, Kaiser was pulled for the second time in the last 3 games. NBA news, Sixers rookie Markelle Fultz with a shoulder injury out the next 3 games. He will be reevaluated next Tuesday night. And Cleveland's Dwayne Wade is out tonight against the Nets due to a left knee contusion.
The Nissan Heisman House is back. Rush over to NissanHeismanHouse.com to enter for a chance to win a new Nissan Titan. No purchase necessary. Ends December 8th, 2017. Open to residents of the USDC 18 or older. Official rules at NissanUSA.com/Heisman House Sweepstakes.
This is the Jeff Cameron Show. Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. Fastest World Series game since 1992 played last night. It'll happen when you have aces on the hill delivering in the biggest of moments. I guess that'll shake it, right? At some point, it was bound to happen. He's just too good. But to watch the pitching that was on display last night, to watch the Dodgers prevail, and the stuff that you saw so early from Kershaw, you knew, the strikeouts mounted by inning 3, you went, uh-oh, this ain't nerves for the Astros. This is stuff. This is going to be a problem. And, you get the 2-run shot from Justin Turner. By the way, as an aside, means nothing in the way of analyzing a baseball game, but because I am at least locally famously bald, if that makes any sense, and keep a close eye on those that are about to join the club and are seeking to avoid it, whether that be locally or nationally. I must point out to you, Justin Turner's got a problem on his hands. That's all well and good, sir. You go ahead and grow that red hair out to join the beard and make it appear to be a Grizzly Adams situation, but it's not. For the cameras caught him, most unfortunately after that home run, take off the cap while entering the dugout. The celebration was on, and I went, oh, no. That's especially bad for a redhead. There is no hiding. Sometimes if you're blonde, going gray, or oddly enough, if you have real thick hair but only a spot is leaving you atop and you've got darker colored hair, we may not see it. But for whatever reason, it's like the Red Sea parting, Tom. You can definitely note there's dry land. He took that hat off, and I went, oh, somebody needs to tell him about this. Because sometimes you don't know. Sometimes maybe it's denial, I don't know. But there is a spot, and it's sizable, that is beginning to give way. The pores are clogged. The hair is not growing in that spot atop. And he's about to have that silliness going where you just have this big strip, like I said, of dry land, and the hair comes down on the side. Can't happen ever.
Well, that's
Can't
kind of
happen
like,
ever.
Remember how Bozo looked? You know?
Right. Like a clown.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can't do that. So, I don't know. Somebody maybe you don't do it during the World Series. I got it.
Don't touch it.
You don't touch anything during the World Series, and he's on a run, and you can't do it. You got to leave it be.
A postseason player for the ages. He's been in enough of them now.
Man, it's crazy. Well, and, one thing, I love these moments. To me, these are two very likable teams. I don't have a problem with these two teams. Not that you would care if I did. I'm just letting you know that I don't. I like a lot of the guys on both teams. The backstories for a lot of these guys are really good stories. We were talking about it yesterday with Matthew Leach, who joined us from MLB.com. And we only, we were talking for 20 minutes, and we only I feel like we barely scratched the surface. And I did want to see Clayton Kershaw pitch well last night. I did want to see guys. Dallas Keuchel pitched well too.
Yeah, he pitched fine.
He pitched fine. I mean, that's not a bad outing. You take that. Unfortunately for him, he gets the loss. He gives up the 2 home runs, but I mean, he pitched well.
I wouldn't yank him in the 7th either. They've got bullpen issues, and he's what was his count? Only in the low to mid 80s.
Yeah, he was low.
Let him get you through 7. I don't think that's going to impact whether or not he's going to be available for his next turn if he pitches another 10 or 15. I mean, come on. What are we doing? And then all of a sudden, what happens? You got bags loaded, and you got problems now.
Well, yeah, I see the other side of it. Yeah, it is, but it's weird to me that this statistic, and it's been cited all day today, that it exists because baseball being what it is, it seems odd to me that this would be the case, but they have a 1-0 lead to the Dodgers now in the best-of-7 World Series. And by the way, I'm going to ask you some questions because when it comes to the changing technology and the way people consume television, you're usually a step ahead of me on this. Matt Millar, a step of everybody, but you're always right there too. And I'm going to ask you about YouTube TV here in a second. But first, because they did a great job of advertising.
Yeah, I'm 31 going on 45. So
I know. All right, so the winner of Game 1 is the stat that I'm going with here. The winner of Game 1 has gone on to win 25 of the last 29 World Series. And that's insane. Does that not strike you as absolutely shocking?
Yeah, but when you go back and you do it in your head, it makes sense. But yes.
25 of 29. It's baseball. It's one game. It's usually, that doesn't portend of anything. That's nuts.
Apparently it does.
Apparently it does.
Overwhelmingly so.
Yeah. Now, all time, it's not overwhelmingly so. When you consider those statistics, Tom, 25 of 29, extrapolate that out through the history of the World Series, it actually goes down to 62%. So I'm just blown away that we've seen that number. And of course, after the game, that was brought up an awful lot, as you might think. But, by the way, the Chris Taylor home run off of Dallas Keuchel on the first pitch of the game will hurt your feelings.
Yeah.
450 feet of get you some of this, and it's not that bad a pitch. When I first saw it leave the bat, I went, well, so much trying to sneak past that fastball to get the game started. But I like that, you got a guy up there ready to swing, and let's get this thing started with a bang. But he's locked in. It's not a terrible pitch. It's also awfully hot there, and the ball's traveling, but he gets it. Anyhow, so what I would say about this is that we got a great first game, played briskly for all the people whose attention span doesn't last more than 2.5 hours, let's say. You were all right. You got it in just under 2:30. 2 hours and 28 minutes. The crowd that says, see, baseball's so boring, it takes forever, I can't do it. Well, they had to shut the hell up because you had home runs and pitching. There you go.
Right, yes.
Yeah. What they would call a perfect game. Brief.
So I'm looking at YouTube TV right now as you're talking. If I sound like I'm doing something, I'm looking at it.
I understand.
Because I saw it yesterday as well as I was doing preview stuff.
It was everywhere.
Right. Oh, they did a good job.
They did a great job.
MLB.com.
You talk about branding.
Right.
Boom,
so we're looking at
boom.
stuff that MLB.com is doing ahead of the Matthew Leach interview, and I'm looking around, poking around for World Series previews and
but
YouTube
tell me
TV.
something. Tell me that's not like the first time that you've ever seen that advertised, and now you're bombarded.
Yeah, they're rolling it out right now, and
what a rollout!
But we heard about this.
No, we knew it was coming, but I didn't know to this extent and exactly. So where are we going with this? What is this?
Okay, so
I know what YouTube is. I get what television is.
Yeah, but it's like a YouTube cable satellite service hybrid is what it is. It allows for right now I'm looking at it's about 35, 40 networks that you can stream live. It's not for free.
No matter what.
Right.
But it's cheap.
Right. It's $35 a month.
That's right.
Up to 6 people can be on your account. And then it gives you unlimited DVR space. So that's which they don't need to worry about because it's already on the server. I can get how that works.
Right.
So you're just probably accessing a link more than you're doing DVR. But what it does is, it essentially allows you from your mobile devices to cast or whatever legally, right?
Yeah.
Legally broadcast, on your television, ABC, ESPN, Fox, CBS, and
you
then
have to cast it.
Well, I mean, yeah, there's no cable box. It is your cable box in essential.
But I'm saying on my okay, so we have Comcast, you and me both, and we endorse them.
Well, the goofy thing is from Comcast, you could do it because
you have YouTube.
You have YouTube app. It's built into the box now. If you haven't checked,
that's what I was going to say. I did know that. Yes, and my kids have found it, and I've had to be careful about putting parental controls on that. But the point of that is this. Because I discovered it, you know what a music guy I am, sometimes I'll tell kids about a song that came out in 1982, and rather than pull it up on my iTunes or actually go find the album, I'll go, here, we'll YouTube it. And I just do it. Find the app, bam, hit it, we watch it. And there's this video for it, whatever it might be.
Sure.
So,
well, okay, so how do you get it, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's either your TV, which has apps on it, because smart TVs now have apps.
They all do.
So
and they have tons of them.
I'd recommend personally, if I was building it from scratch and not using the fine service from our friends at Xfinity, what I would do is I would get either an Xbox or a PS4 or the new Xbox One X that's coming out, and I'd plug in the hardline internet, and then I'd get the app for YouTube there, and then I'd launch it from that point.
Why?
Well, because if you're using Wi-Fi to stream across your Bluetooth, it's not as reliable as a hardline internet connection.
I got it.
But yeah, this is a brand new thing. Now, I'd known about YouTube Red, which is to get those sequence and syntax right. But about music and you don't have to worry about commercials and all that stuff.
So what percentage of the listener base just got that joke?
All men under the age of 50.
All men.
You think, oh, really? Well, I don't, okay.
Well, but have you listened to The Butterfly Effect or the latest from Ronson? Anyhow, it's about that very subject. Anyhow, go ahead. Yeah, it's a rather remarkable statistic.
Okay. Well, this has to be a brand new endeavor that they wanted to roll out during the World Series.
Right.
But yeah, essentially what it does is the same thing, except the problem is, and this is the thing that these providers are going to have an issue with. Your service providers like Xfinity or CenturyLink or whoever, they give you your internet too, and the internet service that comes along with the coax that plugs into your TV is going to be better than your straight internet connection until, I don't know.
How much longer is that going to be the case?
That's a Millard question now. That's a great Millard question.
Yeah, because
in other countries around the world, it's already great.
Yes, and in some it's worse, right? But
many.
Yeah,
yes.
But I mean, I'm curious, how much longer is that going to be the case? Because that's always been the hang-up, and that is certainly the hang-up of anybody older than me.
Yeah.
I mean, most people just like the idea of, well, it just comes through this cable.
Well, yeah.
You can't convince them otherwise.
But, in my experience, the sports is the hardest thing. Like, if you want to stream Netflix, you can get that HD, and you'll forget that you're actually on an internet service. Mm-hmm. But if you want to watch a live sport, even if you're watching MLB TV
the
or
second
NHL
it glitches,
TV,
you get pissed.
Yeah.
Oh, I got no time for that.
Like the baseball starts tracking, you see 80 baseballs on the way to the batter.
Can't stand it. And it's enough to not make me want to, or to make me not want to, purchase YouTube TV or anything like it.
They ever bridge that gap? YouTube TV is the way of the, yes.
Well, they will.
Mm-hmm.
They have to know that's the obstacle.
Well, maybe there's lobbying being done by these companies that have a lot of interest.
You mean the fact that we once built an electric car and then it went away?
Sure.
And now, yeah, I see what you're saying. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Landowners, Mahindra's inventory clearance sale is going on now. We're reducing prices like never before on the toughest utility vehicles on earth. Like a Mahindra XTV 750S as low as $135 a month. Or get up to $3,450 in cash back and savings. Plus, Mahindra's 3-year limited powertrain warranty comes standard.
I'm talking tough, like a state of mind. Tough, like a soldier on the front line. Tough when it gets rough, like my Ford truck, always enough. I'm talking tough.
Franklin Spring Creek Ford, the place to find your next truck in southern Georgia.
Hey y'all, we're Chris and Preston from Low Cash. Head to Franklin, Spring Creek Ford and see them about all of your vehicle needs.
For a limited time, Indeed is offering new users a $50 credit to make their first job listing a sponsored job. With premium visibility so more candidates will see it. You want to make a great hire fast, and this exclusive offer gives you a head start. Independent research shows 6 times more hires are delivered through Indeed than any other job site, making Indeed your one-stop source for hiring. To redeem this offer, go to Indeed.com/offer. That's Indeed.com/offer. Terms, conditions, and quality standards apply.
Contact your local CenturyLink retail store to enter for a chance to win the CenturyLink Ultimate Football Fan Experience, which includes a trip to the biggest game of the year. For eligibility and official rules, go to CenturyLinkFanForLife.com/FAQ. CenturyLink, your link to what's next.
It takes 4 essential ingredients to brew Bud Light: barley, rice, water, and hops. But this is a 30-second commercial. So here's the sound of barley malting. It's super quiet. Sorry. Here's to the beer you can always count on. Brewed to be America's favorite light lager. Bud Light, famous among friends. Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer, AB, St. Louis, Missouri.
If you've been suffering from a chronic illness and prescription drugs aren't working, it's time to seek alternative treatment. Dr. Joe Dorn provides evaluations and ordering of natural products for patients who qualify under the new Amendment 2 law. To make an appointment with Dr. Dorn or for a free e-visit, go to mmtcfl.com. That's mmtcfl.com. Visit Dr. Dorn at our Tallahassee MMT Clinic on Capitol Circle Northeast, next to the Cake Shop. It's time to stop suffering and seek affordable and compassionate care.
Beef O'Brady's Burgers across America with Des Moines Triple Bacon, Green Bay's 5 Cheeser, or the Memphis Love Me Tender. All made with premium blend Angus. Pick any 2 for just $17. Beefs, but your Angus, it's good.
If you have hard water, the Lime Scale not only leaves white spots, it clogs pipes and breaks down appliances, costing you hundreds of dollars in energy and wear. Eliminate Lime Scale and other water issues like brown staining, bad odors, and lead with HydroCare water products available from Wave Home Solutions. Wave's affordable systems don't use salts or chemicals. You'll love the way your water tastes, smells, and looks. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, go to goodclearwater.com. That's goodclearwater.com.
Live from the Dale Earnhardt Jr. Buick GMC Cadillac Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
A hell of a run for Fats Domino. Rest in peace, Fats Domino. And I have to confess, when I heard that Fats Domino had passed, that I thought Fats Domino died 28 years ago. I had no idea Fats Domino was still alive. Like, I thought Fats Domino has been dead for a very long time. The thought that Fats Domino may have been, I don't know, pretty old in the early 1970s occurred to me. And this had a little bit of a Bob Hope effect on me, where I went, what? He's still around? Now, I don't mean that with any degree of disrespect, because his contributions to the history of rock and roll are not lost on me. I got you. And Ain't That a Shame and Blueberry Hill and all the big hits that everybody knows, that's fine. And, you know, there's a ton of them. You can go back, and I remember my stepdad had, when I was a kid, I'd go into his album collection, and he had, I think, 3 or 4 different Fats Domino records. There was a Rockin' and Rollin' with Fats Domino was one, and I remember listening to that and loving that and listening to those albums. So anyhow, I get it. No disrespect, but I really did think that Fats Domino was dead and had been for like 30 years. That just falls in that category for me.
I would have tended to agree, although, you know, I'm about a generation off from.
You ever do the alive or dead game? And it's not meant. I'm not talking about the dead pools. I'm talking about just alive or dead. If you're talking with a buddy, you're like, all right, I'll give you one. If I had said while we were driving down the road, Fats Domino. First of all, you would have said, well, that's random. Secondly, you would have said dead, has to be, for a long time, like died to 81 or something, right?
Died in a car wreck with Billie Holiday, you know? Of course, I'm joking about that.
No, but I mean, yeah, he's 89.
Yeah.
He's 89.
It was a good run. I saw that Wendell Pierce tweeted out his death today. That's how I learned about it. Bunk, for those of you who don't know who Wendell Pierce is.
Yeah. Well, you know, and if you remember Fats Domino, you've heard his music for years across many decades of TV shows, movies, things that, you know, I'm walking, yes, indeed. The whole deal, yeah. So I love Fats Domino. But I would have.
Why are you killing Fats Domino?
Yeah,
what the hell?
Jesus, man, with the Fats Domino criticism. Get over it. No, he's great. But
he was also 89, so he and Robert Guillaume were peers. There it is.
And on the same damn 24-hour span.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
I read a quote this morning that he was asked if he got to meet the Beatles when they came to New Orleans, and he said, no, they got to meet me. Pretty good quote.
That's awesome. It's my town.
Yeah, Yeah. Like, come on now. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like,
what? Not Liverpool.
When I went out to Liverpool, did they get to meet me? No,
so,
I'm going to meet them.
That said, we always like to get our vintage, you know, any of the acts that influenced the music that I love so much and that so many of us do. We don't lose sight of it. We get our RIPs in there.
We do indeed.
Every now and then one happens where I go, damn,
I got to admit, I was thinking when you were talking earlier and I saw that Fats had passed, we didn't bring up Fats Domino for any reason, like any obscure reference. Because it would be like us on a Friday to bring up Fats Domino.
Yeah, like we were listening to some old. Yeah,
yes.
Yeah. No, we didn't that I'm aware of. There's no. That would have freaked me out, and I would have gone home. For fear that I'm going to mention somebody's name on the air that I actually know, not just from afar.
Let's speak about fictional people only for 3 hours.
Let's talk about which coaches are going to get fired and which ones won't.
No, because then there's going to be tragedy.
Well, no, I'm talking about Butch Jones or Jim Mora or Mike Riley.
Oh, no.
I'm not talking. What? Jeff, it's the Bataan Death March of names you're just throwing out here. No, don't do it.
When they go to the coaches convention, there's going to be some sort of insurgency.
No, Kevin Sumlin, Brett Bielema. He may be on the short list anyhow. They're not exactly keeping himself in the greatest condition. Plus, there is that professor.
Would he be the first suspect?
Oh, you think?
Yeah, I think that's true.
My man he's teetering on the edge as it is. He's a tenured professor who's hammered at the games going, you're the worst I've ever seen. They would immediately have to, and he must just love Arkansas. Not Brett, the professor.
Yeah.
To be smashed at the games.
He wrapped his arms around Arkansas, and that's a talent in and of itself.
Yeah, but the weird thing is, while we're on the subject of Brett Bielema, you know, there was this thought, I was reading this today, actually, this didn't come out of nowhere. There was a misconception that his buyout was $15.4 million because of this amendment to his contract that created this misconception. Anyhow, there was an article that came out about the contract. The reality is his buyout is $5 million. He's as good as fired. I mean, it's $5 million. You want the Arkansas job, do you?
They're going to send...
you want to recruit to Arkansas while you're in the SEC?
They're going to send Bielema down Blueberry Hill.
Bielema will get another job, that fat ass. Hour number 2, forthcoming. Stay with.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Landowners, Mahindra's inventory clearance sale is going on now. We're reducing prices like never before on the toughest tractors on earth. Like a Mahindra Emax 22 as low as $99 a month. Or get up to $8,100 in cash back and savings. Plus, Mahindra's 7-year limited powertrain warranty comes standard.
TNT. I'm talking tough, like a state of mind. Tough, like a soldier on the front line. Tough when it gets rough, like my Ford truck. Always enough. I'm talking tough.
Franklin Spring Creek Ford, the place to find your next truck in southern Georgia.
I'm talking tough.
Hey y'all, we're Chris and Preston from Low Cash. Head to Franklin Spring Creek Ford and see them about all of your vehicle needs.
GMCCadillac.com. Are you aware of the new OSHA silica dust regulations that went into effect September 23rd? Are you prepared with the correct solutions to make your employees and your company compliant? DeWalt and Cornerstone Tool & Fastener have a full line of OSHA compliant solutions ranging from tools to accessories and shrouds and even dust extractors. OSHA rules intend to limit workers' exposure to breathable crystalline silica. DeWalt and Cornerstone are your first line of defense with the solutions you need. Cornerstone Tool & Fastener, 1110 Stuckey Ave and 3269 Crawfordville Highway.
Landowners, Mahindra's inventory clearance sale is going on now. We're reducing prices like never before on the toughest tractors on earth. Like a Mahindra E-Max 22 as low as $99 a month, or up to $8,100 in cash back and savings. Only from Mahindra.
North Florida and South Georgia's authorized Mahindra dealer is TNT Super Center, US 19 South in Thomasville, and at TNTSuperCenter.com.
Offer with approved credit. See dealer for details. Program restrictions may apply.
Get your weekend started right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Saturdays at 6 a.m. with Fishing Florida Radio. Listen to the three amigos, Boudreaux, Steve Chapman, and Captain Mike Ortega as they catch you up to speed on what's new and biting in the North Florida region. Big-time guests, celebrities, interviews, and 3 hours of the fishing info you need. Fishing Florida Radio is brought to you by Sea Quarters Marina off Highway 98 in Carabel. Sea Quarters Marina, your full-service marina, and presented by Hobbit American Grill, locally owned and operated since 1978.
The big game is almost here, but you can't afford to go because ticket prices are through the roof. Don't worry, we got your back. Anytix.com offers you the lowest price tickets, guaranteed. Anytix.com doesn't mark up tickets. Anytix.com has zero. That's right, no buyer, seller, or service fees. For a small monthly fee of $9.99, you get access to all their wholesale tickets. Go to Anytix.com today. That's Anytix, T-I-X-X. Enter the coupon code ESPN Tally and get 20% off your subscription. Anytix.com, changing the way you buy tickets.
As a Marine serving in Afghanistan, I conducted logistics patrols in some of the world's most dangerous places.
The Sport Clips Help a Hero Scholarship Program helps U.S. military veterans like Jacob Dietz gain the education and training needed to transition into civilian life.
When I came home, I was ready for a new mission. The Sport Clips Help a Hero Scholarship is helping me get a degree in electrical engineering. Help a Hero took a load off me and my family.
You can donate to Help a Hero at all participating Sport Clips locations. Just ask your Sport Clips stylist or look for the Help a Hero donation box. And on Veterans Day, November 11th, Sport Clips will donate $1 for every haircut. That's what we call making your cut count.
My name is Jacob Dietz, United States Marine, and I'm saluting you.
Sport Clips. It's good to be a guy. To learn more about the Sport Clips Help a Hero Scholarship Program, visit sportclips.com.
Broadcasting live from the Dale Earnhardt Jr. Buick GMC Cadillac Studios. This is 97.9 ESPN Radio, WTSM, Woodville, Thomasville, Tallahassee.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. Here's what's happening. Game 2 of the World Series in the spotlight for the Dodgers and Astros. Rich Hill, Justin Verlander. Game 2, 7 Eastern, ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. NFL, as expected, injured Dolphins quarterback Jay Cutler out tomorrow night against the Ravens. Left tackle Laramie Tunsil is questionable. Browns rookie Myles Garrett in the concussion protocol. No word yet if he'll travel with the team for Sunday's game in London. The Browns named Deshaun Kaiser their starting quarterback for Week 8. In Sunday's loss, Kaiser was pulled for the second time in the last 3 games. NBA news, Sixers rookie Markelle Fultz with a shoulder injury out the next 3 games. He will be reevaluated next Tuesday night. And Cleveland's Dwayne Wade is out tonight against the Nets due to a left knee contusion.
The Nissan Heisman House is back. Rush over to NissanHeismanHouse.com to enter for a chance to win a new Nissan Titan. No purchase necessary. Ends December 8th, 2017. Open to residents of the USDC 18 or older. Official rules at NissanUSA.com/Heisman House Sweepstakes.
Live from the Dale Earnhardt Jr. Buick GMC Cadillac Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Hour number 2, Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. Thanks for tuning to it. I'm Jeff. Happy Balls Wednesday. Tom over there producing. We're online, ESPNTallahassee.com. That's where you get the show live via the streaming. If you miss any portion of it, you can go back and find it. All 3 hours posted upon the conclusion, both on iTunes and in the audio vault. You can email the show if you like, JCS at 979ESPNradio.com. Find me on Twitter at JCameronShow, WTSM app, good for your mobile devices. And on YouTube, it's ESPN Tallahassee. I was just looking, CB posted here. I just noticed all of the touchdowns given up when we had the lead in the fourth quarter since going back to 2015. I didn't realize there were so many. I mean, I did and I didn't.
Well, we know the numbers,
but there's
right?
just so many, just like all the time. Like always doing that. Miami, Georgia Tech, North Carolina again, Miami, Clemson, Michigan, Wake, Miami, Louisville. Touchdown, field goal, touchdown, field goal, touchdown, field goal, touchdown, field goal.
Damn it, man. Why?
I just
get over the hump day.
No. I was looking at some numbers during the break. I was combining some stats, and I just came across this one because I think, and it popped up partly because I was looking at our defensive numbers, and when it did, it just shakes you a little bit.
Yeah.
Just to see that in print, to look at that, to have it play out that way. It's FSU's defense. If you didn't hear me, giving CB credit here, FSU's defense with a fourth quarter lead or tied since 2015. We had a 6-point lead against Miami in 2015 with 11 minutes to play, and they had the ball on their 17-yard line. They went 6 plays, 83 yards, scored a touchdown. Now, we did go on to win that game.
Yeah, it's relatively early in the fourth quarter, but
right,
okay.
But we went on to win that game. 2015 against Georgia Tech, we had a 3-point lead. We know how this ends. And then anyhow, they kicked a field goal after 54 seconds. It was, anyway.
Right, then we had the kick 6.
Yeah, all of that, it's a toughie. At North Carolina, we did not have the lead. I guess we were tied, and they went down in a 7-play, 75-yard drive and scored a touchdown. Also in that game, they got the ball back after we took a 1-point lead with 23 seconds to play in the game, and they, in 3 plays, went the requisite 38 yards and kicked a field goal to win the game. So, not once but twice in the last 5 minutes of the same game.
Live that one. Yep.
So, Miami in 2016, we had a 7-point lead with 3:19 to play. With $1:38 left, they went down and scored a touchdown. And then we had 2016 Clemson. Lead was 2. 8 plays, 23 yards, field goal, lost by 1. Yeah, that's a tough. We
had the block PAT against Miami too.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But you did give up the touchdown. That was the punt return.
Yeah.
They had a punt return there too.
Yeah. Clemson, by the way, 5 in 2016, same game. So it happened twice. One at the 8:53 mark, one at the 3:23 mark. 5 plays, 75 yards, touchdown. We were
safety play. We were without, but still, yeah, you can stop them too, even if there's a walk on out there.
Yeah, you're allowed. Michigan, 4:14 to play. We were up by 5. They went 5 plays, 61 yards for a touchdown. We trailed by 3 when we got the ball back and went down the field and scored. But at that moment, it was from the 4:14 mark to the $1:57 mark. So quite the drive. They went down their own 25, went 75 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wake Forest. Wake Forest. Yeah.
You know, I'm 19 again when I hear that.
Mm-hmm.
Wake Forest with that tone, I'm 19.
7 plays, 59 yards, touchdown. We did go on to win that game. The young man powered through for us and made a big play. Miami this year, not once but twice, at the 6:55 mark, they got done with their 6-play, 75-yard touchdown drive in just over a minute. Just over a minute.
That would be the telegraphing of the blitz from the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and then also we went down immediately and responded to us giving up the lead in the fourth quarter on 6 plays in just that brief amount of time. They did two. After we went and took the lead, they got the ball back. Buck 24. They went 9 plays, 75 yards for a touchdown in just over a minute. We lost that game. And then Louisville got the ball, and it was 8 plays, 59 yards for the game-winning field goal, and it took them just about 2 minutes on the nose. There it is. That's a lot of them, Tom.
Okay, I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. Let's count them all up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 in 2 years. 12. So when you begin the discussion, and not the snarky discussion, just the discussion rationally about what is going to change and where those changes will be made, I think you start there.
About situational football, which is one of the things this program, the identity of this program under the head coach, has been prided on. Jimbo was fond of saying it in 2014 and even some games and other seasons along the way. You can play well and poorly in situations and lose, and you can play not so well but execute in the situations and win a football game.
Still win, yeah.
And that's the hard part right there, is the losses that we suffered in those key situations, even the ones in the red zone where we come up short offensively. We don't score touchdowns. We kick field goals instead. I mean, it's an offensive situational failure in the first half against Miami, is it not? You have the ball for 20 minutes. You're over their 50. How many times on their side of the 50? How many times you come away with 3 points?
Yeah, and that's where the discussion that we had to start the show earlier about if you did have DeAndre Francois, how many of those situations end differently? And I think there is compelling evidence, certainly, that enough of them do to certainly see you with a winning record, and maybe even a gaudy, a decent 5-1 still in contention for the playoff record. It doesn't mean the problems wouldn't still exist, and some of the those defensive numbers are those defensive numbers, and you would still, in the minds of most, including me, need to be making changes. But yes, I'll grant you the possibility that team is at least 4-2 if he's out there.
Yeah, if he's out there and he's healthy the whole time. I mean, you could have an injured version of him playing through something like we had last season.
You know how that happens.
Well, the way we blocked it up at Wake, who knows? Good Lord.
Yeah,
so
it is a small miracle that the young man is still healthy. James Blackman has been hit frequently.
Yeah,
and is 160 whatever.
I mean, think about the hit he took at Duke, and he's all right. And I know it's borderline / helpful to Florida State's cause penalty for the driving into the ground call last week on a 4th down when we're down 28-14. But those types of hits to that body, I mean, we were worried about that from the get-go. Look at him, 160 soaking wet. How can he take the punishment anything close to the way DeAndre Francois took the punishment? Well, he is. He is, because he's taking similar punishment. He's getting hit a lot.
Yeah, and I'm very impressed. I mean, now you've had I hate to learn about everybody's toughness in this manner where they get hit constantly just to remind you that they are indeed tough, and you are left to wonder how it's possible that they are picking themselves up once again off the turf after looking like they belong outside or inside the chalk outline. But it's it's happened, and he has, and knock on wood that continues, at least his toughness and the ability to avoid injury.
I think that's the thing, because for me, I'm the guy who's preaching what can we take with us with whatever changes that are coming, and they are coming. That's the thing that gets me, is when you list all of those out, and I go through those situations in my head. A couple of them I'm ruling out. What do you have, 12 there? A couple of them I'm saying, okay. I mean, the Miami one, that's early in the fourth quarter. The building hasn't changed into it must, the atmosphere is must execute right here, right now. But there are enough of them in there. There are plenty of them in there where all I think about is one of the creeds here, which is, again, situational football. And that's something you can control, especially with the athletes that we have had here from 2015 to now. And that's the hard part.
I should make mention that, for the record, today is the 56th annual ACC Basketball Media Day held at the Ritz-Carlton in Charlotte. We've been there. And Leonard Hamilton brought Terrence Mann and Brian Angola, not Rodos. He is not Rodos this year, for those that don't know. Brian Angola went, and they spoke to the press. And Coach Hamilton asked a series of questions, as that's what happens at these things. And one thing to point out is he mentioned in answering questions about the accomplishments of last year's team, which should be noted, of course, didn't lose a home game, did make the second round of the tournament. So while we would have liked to have made the Sweet 16 and gone further, understandably, that was a frustrating end to a season. All ends of season usually are. The team certainly, when you look back on expectations, achieved at least equal to what your expectation could have been, maybe even beyond in some cases, and didn't lose a home game, which was awfully fun, and we got to choo-choo yet again. As you go into this season, unfortunately, my mindset was a little bit of the ding-ding, and I would guess that's probably the thought of a lot of people, ding-ding, not choo-choo being the NIT. That said, by all accounts, including Coach Hamilton today in Charlotte, while looking back on last year's accomplishments, saying that, well, we weren't a very good shooting team. We didn't shoot the ball well from the perimeter. This year I think we will be a very good shooting team. That's interesting. It's also not surprising to hear him say it, because that's been the scuttle. That's been what I've heard a little bit coming out of camp.
Every camp, it's been offensively. There's more skill here this year. So,
but he wasn't wrong in some cases. Obviously, you're looking at first round draft picks and kids that have gone on to do good things. Beasley, obviously, Bacon, obviously, Isaac again.
Right, and there were a couple of years ago. The story was, hey man, if you could play just a modicum of defense with the way you put the ball in the basket, but perimeter shooting wise, Savoy, it just depended what kind of night it was. If it was that night, man, it's good news for you.
The incoming guard, the stud, he's not the same athlete that a Beasley or a Bacon was, but he can shoot.
Right.
So he can shoot. They're going to be able to shoot.
The question is, and this is the question every year, are we going to create looks for him, or is it just going to come out of the flow of whatever base offense we run?
Come out of the flow there, Tom. Come out of the flow.
A footnote, on the Louisville thing this past weekend, that game, it bothered me once I was listening through, talking about situational football. The turnover kills you there, because if you get that win and the defense takes that, vote of confidence that it got the fourth and short stop, and maybe it parlays that into being able to play those situations better. That's a defense clearing a hurdle and then being let down by a careless turnover.
Yeah, they now know what that feels like, because they do it every week. But yeah,
but it's complementary football. You can't always let each other down or repay the favor by letting the other side down.
We can right now. Yeah. We can. No, I got you. You can't fumble there. You're going to win the game.
You got your fourth down stop. You got what you're looking for.
For the first time in forever, you got a fourth quarter, fourth down stop when you had to have it. You ended a drive and subsequently turned right around and were driving and going to win the game. You're on the 20-yard line. It's a freshman mistake. It's an asinine fumble. It's a ridiculous thing to have happen, and it just seems part and parcel to being snake bit, and perhaps a mentality that seeps in when you can't find ways to win games that you, quote unquote, used to win. So, and that was Jimbo. Those were Jimbo's words in my interview. So we didn't always find ways to win those games, by the way. That was we have plenty of instances to point to where we
previous to the season, you just listed it.
Well, yes,
many,
there's plenty of them. No, that's what made that all the more difficult to stomach, was that they were going to win that game. Now, once again, you can say, yeah, they were. They got a gift of a roughing or personal foul penalty, or else they get maybe blown out. It's 28-14. If you don't get to extend that drive, which ends in a fumble in the end zone that you recover, which is also lucky. So you can look at that and say they may have given up and gone down 35-14 if we don't get the roughing the passer penalty.
It's quite possible, but one thing I would say is in that moment, where the defense is and how the defense is played, I get it. There are moments in that game where you go, business decision.
Too many of them.
But it's a net 21. I mean, if you said it's a net 21 points because the defense puts 6 up by itself and then it gives up 28, if you tell me that before the game starts.
You're going to get a scoop and score, right.
Yeah, man, we're winning that football game. We're winning that football game. But so to me, the defense deserves a lot of blame. A lot of it. A lot of it.
Yeah, no. Listen, we can pick segments here. If you'd like to do the next segment about why the offense sucks, we can do that too. No, I got you. It's just that you don't always have to give up.
I know. They didn't, Yeah,
but then they did. And then they did easily. Like the first run up the gut is just, boom, he's almost peace.
Shouldn't have been on the field. But yes, I hear you.
Well, it's like the Bucs defense. It's any number of things that can't happen, though. And you can say, well, but they did this earlier in the game, and they created the fumble. And no, man. I mean, you got to make a play at some point. Adversity strikes.
Got a 4th and 1 stop inside 5 minutes to go.
For the first time in 5 years. I'm not giving him that much credit. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Landowners, Mahindra's inventory clearance sale is going on now. We're reducing prices like never before on the toughest utility vehicles on earth. Like a Mahindra XTV 750S as low as $135 a month. Or get up to $3,450 in cash back and savings. Plus, Mahindra's 3-year limited powertrain warranty comes standard.
I'm talking tough, like a state of mind. Tough, like a soldier on the front line. Tough when it gets rough, like my Ford truck. Always enough, I'm talking tough.
Franklin Spring Creek Ford, the place to find your next truck in southern Georgia.
I'm talking tough.
Hey y'all, we're Chris and Preston from Low Cash. Head to Franklin Spring Creek Ford and see them about all of your vehicle needs.
Brugger's, best drink prices and juiciest burgers in town.
Sexy French poodles, welcome.
If you have hard water, the lime scale not only leaves white spots, it clogs pipes and breaks down appliances, costing you hundreds of dollars in energy and wear. Eliminate lime scale and other water issues like brown staining, bad odors, and lead with HydroCare water products available from Wave Home Solutions. Wave's affordable systems don't use salts or chemicals. You'll love the way your water tastes, smells, and looks. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, go to goodclearwater.com. That's goodclearwater.com.
The big game is almost here, but you can't afford to go because ticket prices are through the roof. Don't worry, we got your back. Anytix.com offers you the lowest price tickets, guaranteed. Anytix.com doesn't mark up tickets. Anytix.com has zero. That's right, no buyer, seller, or service fees. For a small monthly fee of $9.99, you get access to all their wholesale tickets. Go to Anytix.com today. That's Anytix, T-I-X-X. Enter the coupon code ESPN Tally and get 20% off your subscription. Anytix.com, changing the way you buy tickets.
The coast is here. Wharf Casual Seafood is a family-friendly restaurant serving high-quality fresh seafood at a great value since 1986. Wharf Casual Seafood's philosophy is that seafood can be affordable, fast, and top-notch quality all at the same time. No one brings families together like Wharf Casual Seafood. Visit their Tallahassee locations on Bannerman Crossing and the newly opened Mahan location at the Costco shopping area. Open 7 days a week. Visit wharfcasualseafood.com for more information or to order online. No need to drive when the coast is here.
It's time for the 11th annual Brewfest. Over 200 beer varieties and unlimited sampling presented by the Tallahassee Sunrise Rotary Club. Come sample varieties of craft beer to learn what you like. Event is October the 28th from 5 to 8 p.m. held at the Antique Car Museum. General admission is $39 with food available for purchase. VIPs have exclusive access from 4 to 5 p.m. All net proceeds go to charity. Brewfest sells out quickly, so get your tickets now. Visit the Facebook page or brewfesttallahassee.com for event details and ticketing information.
Beef O'Brady's 2 for $20. The only hard part is choosing. First, pick a starter to share. Then pick 2 entrees like grilled shrimp and a steak bowl. All for $20. Beef O'Brady's, where 2 for $20 gets you plenty.
Tallahassee loves the corner pocket as much as a crystal ball winning catch.
He's looking, he lost it to the end zone. It's Benjamin! Touchdown! With 13 seconds left.
The 97.9 ESPN radio special is a must-have every Monday and Wednesday at the corner pocket. 10 mouth-watering wings, a fresh side of fries, and a chilled domestic pint of beer are just $9.79 all day long. Be sure and try the fish blend of sauces, a true wing eater's favorite. The Corner Pocket Bar and Grill.
He's gone!
Home of Trivia Tuesday, Beer Bingo Thursday, and the daily $7.99 lunch special.
This is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
It's Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. Let's do this thing. A little who's hot, who's cold action for you.
It's time for Who's Hot?
It's so damn hot.
Who's Cold?
Looks like she's going to turn cold tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Got a front coming in.
Yeah, you got that right.
Who's hot, who's cold? Brought to you by Barano Heating and Air Conditioning. Best of the best. Get to some of that duct cleaning. You got to. My air conditioning units, both of them, and soon to be heating units, function fantastically and have for several years now after being brought over to the house on opening day of baseball 3-4 years ago, whatever it is now. And these guys are pros, best in the business and reliable. And that's all you can ask for. You don't need a new air conditioning every day, but when you do, think about Barano Heating and Air Conditioning. Who's hot, who's cold?
Man, the way you said duct cleaning, get to that duct cleaning. You sound like our friend David.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. That's what it sounded like.
All right. Got to get you some of that duct cleaning.
It does, doesn't it?
A little bit.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Hot Tampa Bay Lightning. All right. Yes, indeedy. I am pleased. The Lightning have the best record in the National Hockey League. Hello. They want to crank that. But they don't play till tomorrow, so we'll wait. In the interim, I'll tell you this. 8-1-1. Steven Stamkos reaching 600 career points and became the Tampa Bay Lightning's all-time leader in power play goals. Last time the Lightning started 7-1-1 was the 2003-2004 season Stanley Cup.
And they did not start 8-1-1, believe it
No.
or not.
So, boom. Nicely done. Also hot, the Philadelphia Eagles, NFL best 6-1. Carson Wentz is leading the NFL in passing touchdowns with 17. Hey, now. Stat line of 1,852 yards, only 4 interceptions, completing 61.6% of his passes. They've won 5 in a row, playing well. Their lone loss to Kansas City, correct, on the road?
That's right, yeah.
Not a bad loss at all. Hot. I didn't think I'd say this. It is a show first. Iowa State Cyclones and those hideous uniforms. Good on you, Cyclones. 5-2, 3-1 in the Big 12, ranked at number 25, 3 straight wins, including victories at Oklahoma and Texas Tech. 5-2 record is the best 7-game mark since going 6-1 in 2002. You remember who was quarterback in 2002? Seneca Wallace.
That's right, Seneca Wallace.
Yeah.
He's a good player in NCAA football back in those days.
Very, very good. Cold. North Carolina. Ooh, chilly. Freezing. You're making a way up to I don't know, Beach Mountain. It's cold. Sugar Mountain.
Unless the NCAA is brought into the discussion, at which point, yeah.
Well, then you're Teflon. If we had a who's hot, who's cold, who's Teflon, North Carolina gets Teflon all day long. Can't touch North Carolina's cheating ass. I mean, a couple decades worth of just going all in on the cheating. just absolutely rendering a degree from the University of North Carolina as utterly meaningless, and yet it means nothing in the way of punishments from the NCAA. However, that has not helped them on the football field, where they are just 1-7, 7th in the ACC Coastal. 1-7 guarantees that this will be the 40th losing season in school history and the 21st with at least 7 losses. So they do an awful lot of losing at North Carolina in football, but not in basketball because they get good players by any means necessary.
Well, there's a curriculum, and they stick to that curriculum.
277 points allowed through 8 games. Mr. Fedora, all the lifting weights in the world is not going to help your defense, sir. Get out of the gym and go coach somebody. Sweet Jesus. Cold, Arkansas Razorbacks. Put down the burger, Brett. If I'm going to rip Larry, I got to go to you too. 2-5, 0-4 in the SEC. Arkansas has allowed 24 sacks. That's almost 3.5 per game. Only 5 FBS teams have allowed more sacks per game. Not blocking. Arkansas has not beat a Power 5 school since last November. I remember I think it was 2014 when Arkansas fans got a little froggy.
Well, it was with Ryan Mallett, right?
Yeah, well, no, it was they were debating. They had a loss early in the year, but they were playing well, and they were running the football, and they were tweeting to FSU fans that they were more deserving. Arkansas has allowed 24 sacks and not beaten an FBS Power 5 school, I should say, since last November. Brett Bielema is actually getting fatter and apparently is sporting his initials BB on his coaching gear. There you go. And he's gotten
that way it's his. If he gets fired, he's like, well, that's mine.
That's mine.
It's got my initials on it.
And food. Indianapolis Colts, cold, very, 2-5. 2 wins have come against teams that are combined 0-14. On pace to give up 6,806 yards, the most in franchise history and the second most in NFL history. And in an era of really bad defense and elite offensive numbers, they are friendly to the quarterback, the opposing quarterback.
Let Seattle drop what, like 35, 40 points and a half on them?
It's Seattle.
That's Seattle.
They give up 31.7 points per game. That's the worst in the National Football League. The 10 sacks allowed on Sunday were the third most in a game in the history of the National Football League. And Andrew Luck's shoulder, a little dicey. Probably want to sit out this one, Andrew. Continue to send letters back to Mama about the camp. Time is, I don't care if your shoulder feels better than it ever has. I'd walk in to the equivalent of $1 place, whatever the Colts have, and Andrew, don't worry, we're not starting you. You're not coming. No, my shoulder.
Dearest mother, after studying the leadership and chain of command for the Indianapolis Colt Union Army, I fear my shoulder will be hurt for some time.
Colts offense is on pace for 7 passing touchdowns for the season. For the season. Sweet. I think the Bucs gave that up in a half to the Ravens a couple years ago. 7 for the season. Sweet Jesus. That's a toughie. And that's Who's Hot, Who's Cold. Brought to you by Barano Heating and Air Conditioning. They're great. Give them a call today if you need them. 850-580-4029.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Blountstown Highway, 574-4100.
Landowners, Mahindra's inventory clearance sale is going on now. We're reducing prices like never before on the toughest tractors on earth. Like a Mahindra Emax 22 as low as $99 a month. Or get up to $8,100 in cash back and savings. Plus, Mahindra's 7-year limited powertrain warranty comes standard.
TNT. I'm talking tough, like a state of mind. Tough, like a soldier on the front line. Tough when it gets rough, like my Ford truck, always enough. I'm talking tough.
Franklin Spring Creek Ford, the place to find your next truck in southern Georgia.
I'm talking tough.
Hey y'all, we're Chris and Preston from Low Cash. Head to Franklin Spring Creek Ford and see them about all of your vehicle needs.
Warranty. So competitively priced that Kraft Nissan will give you a 30-day price match guarantee in writing. And we offer the Kraft Nissan service card, same as cash for 6 months on purchases over $299.
So give us a try. Oil changes in 45 minutes or less and no appointment necessary. Just stop by.
Kraft Nissan on Mahan Drive between Academy Sports and Costco. Service card with approved credit.
Are you aware of the new OSHA silica dust regulations that went into effect September 23rd? Are you prepared with the correct solutions to make your employees and your company compliant? DeWalt and Cornerstone Tool & Fastener have a full line of OSHA-compliant solutions ranging from tools to accessories and shrouds and even dust extractors. OSHA rules intend to limit workers' exposure to breathable crystalline silica. DeWalt and Cornerstone are your first line of defense with the solutions you need. Cornerstone Tool & Fastener, 1110 Stuckey Ave and 3269 Crawfordville Highway. 97.9 ESPN Radio would like to congratulate Lincoln's Alexander Sebeski, October's male winner of the Dale Earnhardt Jr. Buick GMC Cadillac High School Scholar Athlete of the Month. Alex has helped the Trojans get off to a 2-0 start in district play and leads Lincoln with 66 tackles, 12 of which are for a loss, with 2 forced fumbles and 2 fumble recoveries. Alex carries a 4.3 grade point average, is a member of the National Honor Society, and is a dual enrollment student taking classes at TCC. He will be moving on to the U.S. Military Academy in West Point, where he hopes to continue his football career. As the October male winner of the Dale Earnhardt Jr. Buick GMC Cadillac High School Scholar Athlete of the Month, Lincoln's Alexander Sebeski is now qualified as a finalist for the Dale Jr. $2,500 end-of-the-year scholarship. Check out all of the Athlete of the Month winners by visiting our website, ESPNTallahassee.com, and to help support the folks at Dale Jr., check them out on the corner of Capitol Circle Northeast and Miccosukee, or by visiting online at Dale Earnhardt Jr. BuickGMCCadillac.com.
The secret to better gas mileage and a longer lasting engine? Super Lube it every 3 months or 3,000 miles. The secret to even better gas mileage? Fuel Joules, a gas tank additive that'll increase your MPG by as much as 7%. And today, when you change your oil at Super Lube, you get a free bottle of Fuel Joules. Crystal Matthews and Amber Cossack own Solid Start, the company that makes Fuel Joules.
Every time we sell a bottle of Fuel Joules, a donation will be made to the National Breast Cancer Foundation.
In October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
There are 19 Tallahassee area Super Lubes. There's probably one right around the corner right now. Free offer valid without coupons or discounts.
As a Marine serving in Afghanistan, I conducted logistics patrols in some of the world's most dangerous places.
The Sport Clips Help a Hero Scholarship Program helps U.S. military veterans like Jacob Dietz gain the education and training needed to transition into civilian life.
When I came home, I was ready for a new mission. The Sport Clips Help a Hero Scholarship is helping me get a degree in electrical engineering. Help a Hero took a load off me and my family.
You can donate to Help a Hero at all participating Sport Clips locations. Just ask your Sport Clips stylist or look for the Help a Hero donation box. And on Veterans Day, November 11th, Sport Clips will donate $1 for every haircut. That's what we call making your cut count.
My name is Jacob Dietz, United States Marine, and I'm saluting you.
Sport Clips. It's good to be a guy. To learn more about the Sport Clips Help a Hero Scholarship Program, visit sportclips.com.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. Here's what's happening. Game 2 of the World Series in the spotlight for the Dodgers and Astros. Rich Hill, Justin Verlander. Game 2, 7 Eastern, ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. NFL, as expected, injured Dolphins quarterback Jay Cutler out tomorrow night against the Ravens. Left tackle Laramie Tunsil is questionable. Browns rookie Myles Garrett in the concussion protocol. No word yet if he'll travel with the team for Sunday's game in London. The Browns named DeShone Kizer their starting quarterback for Week 8. In Sunday's loss, Kizer was pulled for the second time in the last 3 games. NBA news, Sixers rookie Markelle Fultz with a shoulder injury out the next 3 games. He will be reevaluated next Tuesday night. And Cleveland's Dwayne Wade is out tonight against the Nets due to a left knee contusion.
The Nissan Heisman House is back. Rush over to NissanHeismanHouse.com to enter for a chance to win a new Nissan Titan. No purchase necessary. Ends December 8th, 2017. Open to residents of the USDC 18 or older. Official rules at NissanUSA.com/Heisman House Sweepstakes. Live from the Dale Earnhardt Jr. Buick GMC Cadillac Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Show 97.9 ESPN Radio. By the way, there's multiple things to be talking about here, but if you would, Tom, go ahead and cue up one of the goodness indeed.
Count 'em up, pour 'em out.
I'll just have a cup of coffee.
There it is. It's Beer 30, brought to you by the 7th Hill Tap Room on Appalachie Parkway.
Well, for some of you, the day is nearing its end, and you can punch those proverbial time clock or time cards, whatever it may be, and go get you a tasty beer. And it's is it State Worker Wednesday, buddy?
State Worker Wednesday. That means that you're getting happy hour specials all night long, which is pretty freaking cool for you state workers. Also, all teachers. All teachers also earn the benefits of a state worker.
And they need them.
Yes, they do. And from 7 p.m. to close, this is a cup club night. So if you've bought your $10 cup, if you want to buy your $10 cup, you get $1 off all drafts from 7 p.m. to close as you watch the World Series.
Yeah, and that's a good thing. And I would like, again, to say our thanks to the friends at the 7th Hill Tap Room, the many friends at the 7th Hill Tap Room, right underneath the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill, where you can always find the newest and freshest Florida craft beer. Yay! No, I know, Brandon, that Luck won't be playing for another month. He had a setback. I got you. That's what my point was. I'm saying, no, you don't want to come back to that. Just keep walking in and saying, my shoulder, can't do it, and then go from there. You know what I'm saying?
My shoes are brown.
I think you should close out every Jeff Cameron show with "Go Bolts" till our Noles win again for our own sanity. That's from Dan. He wants that of both you and me. Hashtag a-hole.
Hashtag a-hole.
I'm noticing the Twitter names have changed, right? Like the monikers, not the handles, not the at so-and-so, but rather just the names. I'm getting a lot more of, hey, look at this. Fire Charles Kelly just tweeted to me. You're starting to see more of those in the Twitter sphere, buddy. That's, yeah.
Look, we're really hurt, and we need to play better situational football if we hope to be better than 2-4.
At such and such, yeah. There's I Hate My Life at Jerry the Knoll. Okay, well, Jerry, I got you.
Jerry the Knoll. He just sounds like a good guy to tailgate with.
Yeah.
You go to Jerry the Knoll's tailgate? Oh, legendary.
Always.
That's a good one.
There's, there's Wear a Bag on My Head at GoNoles.com. Yeah. No. It's amazing what a win can do. Oh, wait, that rings hollow? You're not there?
But I think anybody would take that sip of proverbial water in the desert.
A win? Win. Yeah, I don't know, buddy. That's I have a sense that come Friday night, when that game ends and Florida State walks off the field up in Boston College, Chestnut Hill, victorious 38-0, it will still feel empty. You don't think we're going to walk off the field victorious, Chestnut Hill, 38-0? Are you faithless? Should I pull your no card?
I think those who would be rooting for us not to succeed at this point, though, are looking for Jimbo to get fired.
Well, now you're cruel and unusual.
I think if you're looking, if you're asking for more, you're asking for Jimbo to be gone at that point. For me, it's let's win as many games as we possibly can because the changes are coming. There's no way to you could win by 14 to whatever, however many points between now and the end of the season. You'd still need to make changes. I think Jimbo would concede that.
Well, I don't know if he would, not publicly, but I will say this, and I'm sure you mean privately, but
he concedes nothing publicly.
No, but I would say this. Well, every now and then he'll admit to I made a mistake or handle situations.
You know what I'm talking about with coaches and jobs.
But right. But what I would say is if you're rooting for us to lose games now, that's kind of weird. Like I always say, I came close a couple of times during the lost decade, couple of times. And certainly it shaped the way that I thought about losses. They were less difficult to handle because I thought it expedited the process to get to a place where we needed to go. I still never went into a game rooting for a loss, ever, not once. Now, when they happened, especially resoundingly so, 30-0 Wake Forest, I thought, okay, well, now it's unavoidable. Now, no matter how loyal or blind or how much the game has passed him by, there won't be the ball bounces this way or that way, and we've been unlucky. Half the teams lose. Teams that are at home have an advantage because the other team didn't, the other team had to travel, whatever. None of that nonsense was going to, you couldn't skirt by on that nonsensical babble anymore. It was 30-0 to Wake. But I never rooted for it. I didn't want to see that, and I still don't go into any game that we play ever rooting for a loss. Now, even those who say, well, that's fine, Jeff, because I think long-term and I'm willing to give away a season to get the change that is necessary. It's not unlike an NBA team that tanks or a team that's losing in an NFL season and has to – I did root for the Bucs to lose to the Saints the year that Jameis was going to be the number 1 pick. Actively root.
I think those are two different circumstances.
I do, too.
Because – the hard thing is for college,
right.
You're not going to get a draft, and you're not going to get to pick before Alabama.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right,
so Alabama's still going to get what they want to get.
No, you were going to get a franchise quarterback with the Bucs, which we did, yes, and you knew it.
Well, and by November, the season's already lost. Hell, by October 15th, the season is already lost. So at that point, you could say, all right, you know what? Tank away.
Yeah, now we need a good pick.
If they started 4-0, you'd say, all right, go for it. Let's go. I want to see some playoff football.
Looks like we're not going to get Jameis, and we would have just gone on. Yeah, no, I did. Yeah, it depends on the situation, especially professionally, where having a franchise quarterback is everything and you don't have one and there's one on the block that you can draft and you're in contention for the number 1 pick and it's the last game of the year, don't win that game. Don't win that game. But no, I've never done it with my college team. We've been in precarious situations where we've had to root for Florida or root for Miami or any of your other enemies. You had to do that, and I mean adamantly so. Yes, that's happened. But here's what I'd say about the group that's saying, I hope we lose Friday night or the rest of the way, because as you put it, at that point, you're rooting for that to happen because Jimbo would lose his job. Not that you are, but that other people are. No, he won't. It's a fruitless endeavor, my friends. No, he is not losing his job. He could go winless the rest of the way. He's not losing his job. So don't do that. Not that you have an effect on the outcome. I'm just saying that, it doesn't make any sense.
So a lot of outlets today reporting on the USA Today coaches list and Florida State top 5, top 6, whatever it is in coaches' pools. Without all the endowments and the extra generation of dollars, as we've asked, other assistant coaches about in the past or people around the program, how there's a lot of money in some of the blue blood programs in college football, especially in this here, the southeast of the United States. We got enough money to do what we need to do? If Jimbo says, I want to do...
We couldn't have done it last year like a lot of people wanted.
This number of changes.
Yeah, I think he's going to get a little lucky. Listen, if we're spitballing here, I believe the way this works is you might get lucky in that a couple of coaches do you a favor and say, I'm out, retire. One of his close buddies may say, all right, I'm going to save him the trouble and call it a day. Get paid as a consultant. And there's a lot of people that would hire him. And there's still another guy on the staff that he's been coaching a long time. He's made a pretty penny. He could probably call it a day as well. So you may get a guy to retire, or they could negotiate a percentage.
An amicable,
yes,
financially speaking, term of parting ways.
Here's your gold watch. So that could happen. As far as some of the other guys go, when you rolled over some of the guys that were in year 1 of their deal, of a 3-year deal, that would have been a problem. Now that it'll be the end of 2, not really a problem. The only guy that's a problem financially is Charles Kelly. It's less of a problem than it was, but it's still a bit of a problem.
But you see what I'm saying? I mean,
there's
schools,
enough.
When they're desperate, they got the money. Do we?
I think all of the schools, if they get desperate enough, have a means. I mean, all the big-time players, you can make things untenable. I do believe, that's the other aspect of it, that sometimes things reach a point where you can't come back because how many people are coming to the games next year? The loss you're going to take in attendance and looking, projecting 2 and 3 years down the line.
Whispers about A&M, Texas A&M, and its interest on Jimbo. How much of your ear does that have compared to, say, the LSU things of the past couple of seasons?
Only because the AD at Texas A&M and Jimbo are fast friends from back in the day. But I don't see how this works. A&M's winning some games now, and someone might want to leave. He's had all kinds of crazy letters sent to his house, and that's been an ugly deal. But they're starting to play pretty well, so I would think it might be a little bit more difficult to let him go than we thought earlier in the year. And then B, again, there are so many other things at play here than just beyond I like the AD, and they do have good resources. But, he's got a family here. He's got kids here. He wants to get this turned around, I think. I don't think his interest is in leaving. I just don't believe that. It's Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Landowners, Mahindra's inventory clearance sale is going on now. We're reducing prices like never before on the toughest utility vehicles on earth. Like a Mahindra XTV 750S as low as $135 a month. Or get up to $3,450 in cash back and savings. Plus, Mahindra's 3-year limited powertrain warranty comes standard.
I'm talking tough, like a state of mind. Tough, like a soldier on the front line. Tough when it gets rough, like my Ford truck. Always enough, I'm talking tough.
Franklin Spring Creek Ford, the place to find your next truck in southern Georgia.
I'm talking tough.
Hey y'all, we're Chris and Preston from Low Cash. Head to Franklin Spring Creek Ford and see them about all of your vehicle needs.
October's male winner of the Dale Earnhardt Jr. Buick GMC Cadillac High School Scholar Athlete of the Month. Alex has helped the Trojans get off to a 2-0 start in district play and leads Lincoln with 66 tackles, 12 of which are for a loss, with 2 forced fumbles and 2 fumble recoveries. Alex carries a 4.3 grade point average, is a member of the National Honor Society, and is a dual enrollment student taking classes at TCC. He will be moving on to the U.S. Military Academy in West Point, where he hopes to continue his football career. As the October male winner of the Dale Earnhardt Jr. Buick GMC Cadillac High School Scholar Athlete of the Month, Lincoln's Alexander Sebeski is now qualified as a finalist for the Dale Jr. $2,500 End of the Year Scholarship. Check out all of the Athlete of the Month winners by visiting our website, ESPNTallahassee.com, and to help support the folks at Dale Jr., check them out on the corner of Capitol Circle Northeast and Miccosukee, or by visiting online at Dale Earnhardt Jr. BuickGMCCadillac.com.
Mahindra's inventory clearance is going on now. We're reducing prices like never before on the toughest utility vehicles on earth. Like a Mahindra 750S Camo as low as $135 a month, or up to $3,450 in cash back and savings. Only from Mahindra.
North Florida and South Georgia's authorized Mahindra dealer is TNT Super Center, US 19 South in Thomasville, and at TNTSuperCenter.com.
Offer with approved credit. See dealer for details. Program restrictions may apply. The new Fox and Stag, Tallahassee's local craft cocktail bar in the heart of Midtown on Thomasville Road and 5th Avenue, featuring a newly expanded liquor menu including limited release scotches, whiskeys, and bourbons, as well as unique spirits distilled right here in Florida. If wine is your thing, swing by and try one of Fox and Stag's hand-selected bottles from their ever-expanding wine list, or simply enjoy one by the glass paired with a charcuterie board or delicious small plates. Sometimes you just want a cold beer, and Fox and Stag has you covered too, with rotating drafts and bottles sure to quench your thirst. Come by for a drink and stay for the company, Tuesday through Saturday from 5 p.m. to 2 a.m. For catering or private parties, message Fox and Stag on Facebook.
It's time for the 11th annual Brewfest. Over 200 beer varieties and unlimited sampling presented by the Tallahassee Sunrise Rotary Club. Come sample varieties of craft beer to learn what you like. Event is October the 28th from 5 to 8 p.m. held at the Antique Car Museum. General admission is $39 with food available for purchase. VIPs have exclusive access from 4 to 5 p.m. All net proceeds go to charity. Brewfest sells out quickly, so get your tickets now. Visit the Facebook page or brewfesttallahassee.com for event details and ticketing information.
No fans, ESPN Tallahassee's official home for FSU watch parties in 2017 is Miller's Ale House on Appalachia Parkway.
Francois to throw for the end zone. It is caught. Touchdown. Seminoles are going for the win.
The ESPN Tallahassee team will be on hand for every Seminole away football game with giveaways, a chance to win some great prizes, and to have a good time.
To the pylon. He's into the end zone for an FSU touchdown.
So, when the Noles hit the road, join us at Miller's Ale House on the Parkway, the official FSU watch party headquarters of your home of the best in Seminole sports talk. 97.9 ESPN Radio, Tallahassee Sports Authority. You're locked in with the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Woo! All right, so Tom, it seems fitting that on this day we would be able to get a full throated, excited version of "Here Comes Virginia." Salvaged it. Yeah. I was off. I had just taken a cup of sip of coffee.
Some deviation in the middle there.
Yeah, lost it a little bit.
Is that our first?
First one we've gone awry.
All
It
right.
worked. We could have gotten away with it at the live show, but it just in studio. New take.
Okay.
Not right now.
Oh,
you were ready, weren't you?
I was. I do that with the mic off and then
Gathering.
I turn it on.
Yeah. Now I'm about to cough. Goodness gracious, I surely was not ready. Maybe it's the change in weather, which I'm embracing. The University of Virginia announced the appointment of Carla Williams as their new athletic director, making her the first African-American woman to serve in such a position within a Power 5 school. Well done. She succeeds Craig Littlepage, who was the first African-American AD with the ACC when he took over for Terry Holland in August of 2001. By the way, remember Littlepage? He was kind of controversial. He was on the basketball committee, didn't defend the ACC, whatever. He retired from the position last month. Carla Williams actually has ties to Florida State University. So you're going, oh, I see. She played college basketball at Georgia, where she earned all SEC honors, then stayed at her alma mater to serve as an assistant coach while working towards a master's degree. And in the fall of '97, she came to FSU to pursue a PhD in sports administration, which she got. And not only that, by the way, this is kind of neat. She was the radio color analyst for the first season of FSU women's basketball on WNLS 20 years ago.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
WNLS.
That's right. Coinciding with Sue Simmerau's first year. She's now about to start her 21st year at the helm.
The Bucks play here. That old piece of imaging is a classic.
And by the way, good friend of the program, Dave Krieger, who was chosen to do play-by-play by the late, great Lee Bowen that year. He worked with her. So, and a long-time listener to the program. So that's great, huh? Fan support, all that good stuff?
Yeah, she put the PhD earned right here at Florida State to good use, I would say.
Yeah, she's done quite well, and I'm proud of her and happy for her, and I think it's a great hire by Virginia. There you go. That's it. What, you want to do it again? Here comes Virginia.
Ooh, I don't know.
Still
Might be an 0 for 2. I think I put the Steely Dan in our ears. That's my fault.
So am I registering higher?
No, I screwed that one up. That was on you, the first one. That second one was on me.
Let's take it to the next hour. We'll have to. I mean, it's not bad. It's listenable. You can do.
I don't know.
You don't think you have it today? I don't think we have it today.
I don't think we have it today.
No, it's just going to, you know what? We've got the studio booked for tomorrow as well.
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
This is like Jimbo down in Gainesville. We got Sean Powell, and that's a commercial break.
That's what we got. If this were us in the real world on tour, I would have said, let's take it to the bar. We'll come back tomorrow. We'll get the band back together. See if we can't hit this thing.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Landowners, Mahindra's inventory clearance sale is going on now. We're reducing prices like never before on the toughest utility vehicles on earth. Like a Mahindra XTV 750S as low as $135 a month. Or get up to $3,450 in cash back and savings. Plus, Mahindra's 3-year limited powertrain warranty comes standard.
I'm talking tough, like a state of mind. Tough, like a soldier on the front line. Tough when it gets rough, like my Ford truck, always enough. I'm talking tough.
Franklin Spring Creek Ford, the place to find your next truck in southern Georgia.
I'm talking tough.
Hey y'all, we're Chris and Preston from Low Cash. Head to Franklin Spring Creek Ford and see them about all of your vehicle needs.
By Sea Quarters Marina off Highway 98 in Carabel. Sea Quarters Marina, your full-service marina, and presented by Hobbit American Grill, locally owned and operated since 1978.
Hey, handsome, what's happening?
I'm ready for a beer, my man. How are you?
I am fantastic. This weather is beautiful.
Perfect, and I have a question for you. Snow cone or candy apple?
Ooh, both are sticky.
Both are tasty.
Candy apple.
No, that's the wrong answer. Halloween or Thanksgiving?
Ooh, one is sweet and the other one's savory. I'm going Thanksgiving.
Again. 16 Candles or Back to the Future?
Oh, my goodness. John Hughes or what's that boy's name? Marty McFly? I'm going 16 Candles.
Papa Grande with a Gordo smash. And by the way, I want that. Or a mountain of delicious croquetas. Also with a Gordo smash.
Trick question. Either way, you're not going to lose.
Exactamundo, my brother. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
Sports are defined by stats and performance, but here's a performance stat that no one wants to talk about. Erectile dysfunction affects half of all men over 40. That's 50%. If you're struggling with ED and other therapies haven't worked, isn't it time to feel like yourself again? Learn about a long-lasting ED solution from Coloplast to get you back in the game. Visit Dr. DeLay at Advanced Urology Institute, located at 2000 Centerpoint Boulevard, or call their office and set up an appointment today. 833-4-DRDELAY. That's 833-4, Dr. DeLay. The sooner you seek treatment, the sooner you can get back to feeling like your normal self. That's 833-4, Dr. DeLay.
As a Marine serving in Afghanistan, I conducted logistics patrols in some of the world's most dangerous places.
The Sport Clips Help a Hero Scholarship Program helps U.S. military veterans like Jacob Deeds gain the education and training needed to transition into civilian life.
When I came home, I was ready for a new mission. The Sport Clips Help a Hero Scholarship is helping me get a degree in electrical engineering. Help a Hero took a load off me and my family.
You can donate to Help a Hero at all participating Sport Clips locations. Just ask your Sport Clips stylist or look for the Help a Hero donation box. And on Veterans Day, November 11th, Sport Clips will donate $1 for every haircut. That's what we call making your cut count.
My name is Jacob Dietz, United States Marine, and I'm saluting you.
Sport Clips. It's good to be a guy. To learn more about the Sport Clips Help a Hero Scholarship Program, visit sportclips.com.
Contact your local CenturyLink retail store to enter for a chance to win the CenturyLink Ultimate Football Fan Experience, which includes a trip to the biggest game of the year. For eligibility and official rules, go to CenturyLinkFanForLife.com/FAQ. CenturyLink, your link to what's next.
Broadcasting live from the Dale Earnhardt Jr. Buick GMC Cadillac Studios. This is 97.9 ESPN Radio, WTSM, Woodville, Thomasville, Tallahassee.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. Here's what's happening. Game 2 of the World Series in the spotlight for the Dodgers and Astros. Rich Hill, Justin Verlander. Game 2, 7 Eastern, ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. NFL, as expected, injured Dolphins quarterback Jay Cutler out tomorrow night against the Ravens. Left tackle Laramie Tunsil is questionable. Browns rookie Myles Garrett in the concussion protocol. No word yet if he'll travel with the team for Sunday's game in London. The Browns named Deshaun Kaiser their starting quarterback for Week 8. In Sunday's loss, Kaiser was pulled for the second time in the last 3 games. NBA news, Sixers rookie Markelle Fultz with a shoulder injury out the next 3 games. He will be reevaluated next Tuesday night. And Cleveland's Dwayne Wade is out tonight against the Nets due to a left knee contusion.
The Nissan Heisman House is back. Rush over to NissanHeismanHouse.com to enter for a chance to win a new Nissan Titan. No purchase necessary. Ends December 8th, 2017. Open to residents of the USDC 18 or older. Official rules at NissanUSA.com/Heisman House Sweepstakes.
Live from the Dale Earnhardt Jr. Buick GMC Cadillac Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Final hour of the Jeff Cameron Show, at least for today. Thanks for tuning to it. I'm Jeff. That's Tom. We're online, ESPNTallahassee.com. That's where you go to listen live via the streaming free. Always don't miss anything, but if you do miss something, remember we got you covered. All 3 hours going to be posted both on iTunes and in our own audio vault. There you go. That was good. We were in it.
That was Jimbo speed right there is what that was.
Man. Email the show if you want, JCS at 979ESPNradio.com. Find me on Twitter at JCameronShow. WTSM app, good for mobile devices. We're on YouTube, ESPN Tallahassee. That's how it works. Woohoo! Where are you watching the game on Friday night? What you doing on a Libations Friday to watch the Noles get that 3rd win of the year, kids? Jumping up to 3-4, then you come back home and pound Syracuse to get to 500 at 4-4. Taking it on the road with a 2-game win streak to Clemson. Feeling a little bit better about yourself. Young quarterback stops turning the ball over. Defense is getting stops in 3rd and 4th and short. All of a sudden, a salvageable season. We rescheduled Louisiana Monroe. 8-4 is possible. Or none of that. Or you don't feel any of that at all. You think that you just want me to stop. Just stop providing crazy false hope like that. Don't do that, Jeff.
That felt good for a minute, I have to say. As you were on a roll there, I said, yeah.
Yeah, that's possible. Let's do that. Let's do this. Let's go. Yeah. No, but you don't feel that, right? You don't. It's hard. It's hard. You got to pull yourself up by the bootstraps. Got to make it happen. Here's the hard part. Is not just winning the games against teams that you should beat. As we well know, that is very difficult. But I would say this. It's that you're so injured at wide receiver. I'm serious now, all jokes aside. And, it made me sad to hear Jimbo talk about how Jaquez Patrick, who is a running back, obviously, cried when he was told that he was out for the year and that he damn near did too. And I believe that. Coach Fisher has immense respect for players who laid on the line, and Jaquez was and has. But when you talk about the recipe for, I don't know, conjuring up a decent feeling about what remains and getting to places that at least you can stomach for a season, you realize now that, you're in situations at times, and some of this is part of the greater discussion. why are you throwing to basically, a walk on a deep post? Why are you? What's that about? Why are we in a situation where, you're telling me that Tameron Terry couldn't be out there in that situation?
Well, yeah, at least at some point say when you're asked about him by either the media or call-in show or whatever, he'll be ready next year. He's a work in progress, got immense talent. He's learning the offense, but you don't want to ruin a kid by putting him out there when he doesn't know everything that we're teaching our quarterback and everybody else that's on the field. If you say something along those lines, people won't be happy, but then there won't be this, well, okay, I heard DJ and Terry might play this weekend. DJ Matthews and Tamari Terry, here we go.
Well, Matthews is playing.
Right, but he grouped them both together in the beginning. So, you'll be seeing DJ this weekend, and Terry's coming along too, and he's a really gifted player. So we're looking for him. But should we be looking for him? The answer clearly is no.
Yeah, but the answer should be yes. It should always be yes. And I'm not one of the people that doesn't, that believes, hey, a kid comes in here, he's a 4 or 5 star, or you see his physical tools and you say, well, he's got to play no matter what. No, if you're clueless as to what you're doing, and you've got some other guys that can obviously, handle the playbook, run the routes, and help a young quarterback out. And that's the other problem you have here. If you got more dependable people, I get it. But, at the same time, when we're talking about simplifying things and really finding a way to work with what you got and scrambling during a lost season, part of what you did against Duke was the right answer. Running the football with power and attitude the way that you did to take the game out of the freshman quarterback's hands against Miami was the right thing to do, too. And, rolling him out of the pocket repeatedly and giving him half the field to read, maybe one option, and either throw it away or take off. These are things you can do. Now, I think that's where fans say, well, yeah, and you know what? Other schools, even non-spread tempo schools, find ways to get freshmen out on the field if they're talented. And even if that's just, okay, you're running a 9 or, here, listen, you can run a simple dig. You can run, just this is the route. I don't care what defense they're in, run this. And then you instruct your quarterback accordingly. Now, I get that to some degree. It is more complicated than that. But when you have immense talent, you do expect at some point to find a way to work them onto the field, especially as injuries mount. That is the frustration.
Yeah, I agree. Well, and let them grow together, kind of a principle. If you're going to have a freshman tailback, especially now, it was a 50-50 rotation before this past weekend, and now it's Cam Akers is your number 1 tailback.
And Amir Rasul is right behind him.
Right.
Going to get carries, and I'm excited to watch Rasul play. I think he's a real good football player, by the way. About that, Rasul said this, I'm extremely sorry that Jaquez went down, but now it's time for me to step up. Well, yes. Yeah, no, it is indeed. You were saying?
I was going to say just the idea being, well, if you're going to have growing pains, you might as well have a bunch of them. Now, that comes at the expense of wins too, offensively speaking. You have to be prepared to throw an egg up there. And I think that's the hard part where, to be on balance here a little bit, you've got a true freshman quarterback who looked the part of a true freshman quarterback this weekend more than he has.
And he's got 7 turnovers in his last 3 games.
But this past weekend more than any other game, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's fair to say. I've said it before. He's going to lose you a game outright at some point because that's part of the growing process. Especially
it happens with freshmen.
If your defense isn't going to hold anybody to 17 points, then like anybody. I'm sorry, not named Duke or Wake Forest.
Right.
Then you're going to have issues here, and he's going to make a couple of decisions that you go, well, what are you doing, man? Or there's just going to be a play like there was the last drive of the game for the offense. So I think to be fair here and to be on balance, the offense already wasn't that great, and we were talking about Ira brought this up, I think, on headlines right out the gate. The expectation at the beginning of the season was defense had to come out, dominate, let the offense patch it all together and learn and grow together. Offense got more hurt than it even was. Offense got more thin at certain positions than it even was. And you have a true freshman at quarterback. What is reasonable to expect out of the offense? Since we're always asking questions about defense and situations and why isn't it the dominant group that it should be, what's the fair question to ask about the offense, too?
Well, I think it's twofold. I think that, most fans probably have too lofty of an expectation as to what the week-to-week offense they can, produce given the injuries. At the same time, I do know that we look around college football, and this has been going on for a while now, and you see places in which freshmen play critical roles in offenses that are on the national stage and have great success. So it's possible. And I know that every system's different, and so how a kid fits in one may not be how he would fit in this one. But people would still say that's frustrating to me that we run a system by which young players, they can get on the field. It's a misnomer to say that they haven't. You've seen freshmen come in here and get playing time and have success and begin to emerge sooner than people think. But in some cases, less so than what people would like. So I agree. I think the offense at best, Tom, is going to be middling. I think there are some things he can do to simplify it even more and maybe even run it a little bit quicker, although the offense that you would be running quicker is simpler. I think the overriding frustration is still that you're right. I mean, we talked about it. I tweeted out. It's come back to haunt me now. It's comical. People have used it to make fun of me, rightfully so, especially Miami fans. That I asked, are you ready to watch this dominant defense carry this team while a young freshman quarterback emerges to stardom, slowly. But that defense didn't become dominant. They got worse every week, and then the offense suffered injury after injury, and everything has been stunted.
Well, just to the discussion about possessions, just to look at the drive chart for our game on Saturday, and this kind of informs the discussion. Listen, they're going to have growing pains, and if you only have X amount of possessions to have growing pains, well, then how many points can you reasonably expect to score? Because I'm on both sides of the argument at the same time, if that's possible, because two things can be true at the same time. Yeah. You have 7 offensive points against Louisville heading into the fourth quarter of this game. A team that gave up 45 to Boston College, right? And 7 of your points for the game end up being on defense. But if you look at the first half drives, just for example, you go down the field, you score a touchdown your first drive, long drive. Then you have 3 punts mixed in, which I think you're going to go through strings of this no matter what. With a true freshman quarterback, you're going to have strings of this.
He's going to call it close to the best as well. So, yeah.
You throw a pick. That hurts towards the end of the half. You throw a pick. Then Petrino mishandles the situation. And thankfully, with 8 seconds to go, they kick the field goal. They miss the field goal. Your first drive of the third quarter, this is where I'm going to, really. The first drive of the third quarter, you move the ball down the field, you get stopped, but it's close enough for a field goal. You miss the field goal. All right. So to me, that's the quarterback leading you down the field and earning points. Your kicker didn't execute, so you have no points to show for it.
And it is comical. We actually had some fun with this before. It seems like, because first of all, he hasn't missed many kicks, but anytime Jimbo doesn't go for it on a 4th and short situation and you're looking at time management and kind of deciding about whether you should or shouldn't and where you are on the field, every time he decides to kick in that situation where it can be debated the other way, his kicker misses that kick.
Agreed. Now, if you want to have that discussion, that's a separate one.
That's a different one, yeah.
But to me, that's the quarterback, okay, executing the offense, you get down the field, and you're in a position to score points. That's a good thing. That's a positive thing with all the youth we have, the problems in the offensive line, thin at receiver, etc. Your next drive is one play. It's the shot down the middle of the field. It's an underthrow to Jackson, and he, somehow loses that battle one-on-one.
And you shouldn't be throwing the deep ball to Jared Jackson.
Right, so it's a pick. That's your second drive of the third quarter. Your third and final drive in the third quarter actually ends up as a touchdown in the fourth quarter. You get the ball late in the third, you drive down the field, and you score the touchdown. So you've had 3 possessions. You're into the fourth quarter. One of them should have yielded points. Another one's an interception. And then your third one actually results in a touchdown going down the field. Your fourth possession in the second half is the fumble. Is the fumble going to win the football game?
You don't have a lot of possessions.
You have little to no error here.
You don't run enough plays.
Right.
It's why you never have enough. It's also why you're only beating Duke and Wake by a touchdown. It's every game you play is going to be close because you have no margin for error if you don't touch the ball. But comparatively speaking, if you don't touch the ball, but 60, for a total of 65 plays.
Right. So I return back to the original point or question, which is what's reasonable to expect from the offense if you're only going to have the ball so many times and you can reasonably expect a true freshman quarterback individually to make mistakes. How much success overall can you expect to have? How many points can you reasonably expect to score?
How about this? In 6 games, you have 9 points in the third quarter. But I think most total. Grand total. I think most people would say that, I don't know, more than 9 points.
Agreed. You missed a field goal in the third quarter of this game, and your drive that starts in the third is a touchdown.
Yeah, situationally, I think it's fair to have the conversation in a given game to say, well, they only had the ball twice in the third quarter, so, I mean, how many points were they going to score? But when you're 6 games into a season and you have 9 points total, that's not a good look. That's pretty annoying. That's representative of a problem, and it's not a specific, it's the quarterback. Oh, it's the system. Oh, no, go game by game. You can find out the reasons why, and they're sometimes differing. But it's not something that, A, most people will accept from a Florida State offense. B, it's something that can be remedied to a degree. I would think when you're playing lesser tier teams, you would want more possessions, not less possessions. This may not be the year, as Ira likes to argue, and as you can correctly point out here, this may not be the year where that holds as true as it has in the past. But, I mean, it's hard to imagine a total of 9 points through 6 games. You're outscored in that quarter. I think if we're going back to that article that Ira wrote, 45-9 on the year.
Yeah, on the whole, I totally agree with you. It's just for me that if you only have 4 true possessions, because the last possession of the game is the end of the game, and you have little to no time left on the clock. If you have 4 possessions, one of them's a turnover by your quarterback, and another one is a misfield. I mean, there's not that many points out there. You score 7, you probably should have 13 on the board, but you have 2 turnovers in the sequence of 4 possessions. So what the hell are you going to do with that?
Valuing possessions then would maybe mean that you go for it on 4th and 2 or whatever that was instead of trying to kick a field goal there. I think at that point you would probably say, maybe we need to. I mean, because you're right. You had put together a 50-yard drive in just over 5 minutes, and
I think that argument is largely open and shut, though, is it not at this point? About the valuing possessions and the math and when you go for it. I mean, that's the self-evident thing that he's just not doing. So
and he'll double down on it. He'll tell you,
correct.
No, you absolutely, I would think, too, in situations like this, many coaches who disagree with the philosophy of some of the more aggressive coaches about going for it on 4th down, and Nick goes for it a lot more than Jimbo does, tons more. But a lot of times they have to be shown. And that's not a knock necessarily. I mean, some guys are just mired in some old school ways of thinking, and they have it laid out for them. Somebody comes to them. Somebody on their staff, you would think, would say, so listen, you know how when they introduced the 2-point conversion, coaches got it wrong all the time because they had a million other things to think about? And sometimes it could get a little fuzzy if it was a 3-score game with 10 minutes left in the third and you couldn't quite figure out where you were on that. Well, they came up with that handy little chart. When you weren't sure, you could refer to it. Here you go. Here you go. Here's that opportunity. And then also know that you can override that based on situations, based on the weather. I mean, if it's a deluge, it's
correct.
Different than if it's perfectly sunny. If it's
right.
windy, it doesn't.
The score.
The score. Yes, you can do that. Yes.
Okay, so what's the race to on Friday?
Oh, man, I haven't given it any thought.
Let's say, with BC, the way they do it, they like to shorten the game, too. So you're going to have between 8 to 10 possessions unless you have a wild and wacky turnover fest.
Give me, you know what? I can hear the music. Give me some thoughts. I want to sit down. I want to look at 2 numbers. I'm going to do it during the break, and I'll give you the score. I'll give you the race 2, and I'll give you the score. That's what we'll do. I'm going to give you the final score. That's what we do when we come back. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. That is true.
That has buyers lined up and creates demand for your home? Well, of course you do. That's why you need to call Joe Manassa of Joe Manassa Real Estate. Joe guarantees to sell your home at a price and deadline you agree to, or he'll have it bought for cash. Call Joe to find out more about this phenomenal program. Not only that, working with Joe doesn't obligate you to a thing. If he doesn't do his job, he'll let you out of your contract free and clear. But don't worry, that never happens because Joe sells homes quickly and for top dollar. Recently in town, Matt and Barbara had their Northeast Tallahassee home listed with another agent who had very slow to no movement. They called up Joe Manassa, who ramped up his expert marketing to sell their home faster and for more money. In just 2 days on the market, they saw 6 showings and fielded one astounding offer. Sold. Matt and Barbara got packing. Call the only agent I would call if I needed to sell my home. That's Joe Manassa of Joe Manassa Real Estate. Call Joe Manassa today at 850-888-0888. That's 850-888-0888 or online at manassa.com.
That's MANAUSA.com. And start packing.
How will the recent massive data breach affect you? Is your personal information at risk? If you are a Discover credit card member, there's an important action you can take to help protect yourself right now. Go online and sign up for Discover's free Social Security alerts. Once activated, we will alert you if your Social Security number is found on any one of thousands of risky websites. Learn more and sign up for free alerts at discover.com/free alerts. Limitations apply.
Football season is in full swing, and so is AAA One Transmission. AAA One Transmission is locally owned and operated by Tim Pridgett, who's been servicing the Tallahassee area for over 37 years. Brakes, transmissions, electrical systems, tune-ups, and battery checks. No matter what ails your vehicle, AAA One Transmission can make your automobile healthy again. Don't put off your auto repairs. Stop it at 1023 North Monroe Street or call them at 222-2532.
Woohoo! Banditos!
Huh? Where?
Banditos Burritos, baby.
The secret to better gas mileage and a longer-lasting engine? Super Lube It every 3 months or 3,000 miles. The secret to even better gas mileage? Fuel Joules, a gas tank additive that'll increase your MPG by as much as 7%. And today, when you change your oil at Super Lube, you get a free bottle of Fuel Joules. Crystal Matthews and Amber Cossack own Solid Start, the company that makes Fuel Joules.
Every time we sell a bottle of Fuel Joules, a donation will be made to the National Breast Cancer Foundation.
In October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
There are 19 Tallahassee area Super Lubes. There's probably one right around the corner right now. Free offer valid without coupons or discounts.
Beef O'Brady's Burgers Across America with Des Moines Triple Bacon, Green Bay's 5-Cheeser, or the Memphis Love Me Tender. All made with premium blend Angus. Pick any two for just $17. Beefs, but your Angus, it's good.
Look at that mouth. That poor, parched mouth. So dry. What'd you eat for lunch? Chalk dust? Did your mouth cannonball into a barrel of mothballs? You're being awfully quiet. Is that because your mouth feels like the business end of a Dremel saw? Is it because your mouth just wrote a haiku and all 17 syllables were dry heaves? You're so parched. You know it. I know it. The entire radio knows it. Just admit it. You want a Mountain Dew. Your mouth feels like it just inhaled the insides of a punching bag, and the only remedy is that neon green potion. Right now, your mouth could be tongue bathing in the refreshing citrus kick of Mountain Dew. Instead, it feels like you've been motorboating King Tut's sarcophagus. Show some mercy. Crack open an ice-cold Mountain Dew. You know your mouth wants you to. Do the Dew.
RCD Shell has great prices on Mountain Dew Kickstart cans and Dew 20-ounce flavors like Code Red and Voltage. All just 99 cents. Stay hydrated and recharged with the energy boost you need to keep going strong with Kickstart and Code Red and Voltage. All just 99 cents at RCD Shell stores.
Landowners, Mahindra's inventory clearance sale is going on now. We're reducing prices like never before on the toughest tractors on earth. Like a Mahindra E-Max 22 as low as $99 a month, or up to $8,100 in cash back and savings. Only from Mahindra.
North Florida and South Georgia's authorized Mahindra dealer is TNT Super Center, US 19 South in Thomasville, and at TNTSuperCenter.com.
Offer with approved credit. See dealer for details. Program restrictions may apply.
This is the Jeff Cameron Show. Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
The race is to 21, Tom Lane. The race is to 21, and it'll make you very nervous because that would be 21-17, 24-21, 21-20 area. Yeah.
I'm kind of used to the close game thing.
Oh, I would suspect that this will be that. Yeah, I think in a couple of nights we're going to be sitting there sweating out another one.
Am I allowed to ask, or do I have to do a public records request to see what numbers you looked up to arrive at the 21, or was it something that anybody can find and consume?
No, anybody can find. You can go to Football Study Hall and look at all the numbers there and find them. And so in doing that, as well as looking at a couple of teams that, when look at Boston College's schedule and trying to find personnel and styles of play. Yeah, low scoring, relatively low scoring, frustrating. Does it sound like you've been here before?
Well, it sounds like a 3 or a 4 possession first half.
Well, it always is against BC. You can never get the ball back. I
Right.
mean, they're going to run the ball. They're going to do all the bells and whistles. And if you've got eye discipline, you'll be right there getting stops and getting opportunities. Now, you might say that no matter that projection, no matter the idea that I think the race is to 21, that this won't fall according to the model because this Florida State team is not playing to its talent level, and they do have a lot of injuries that aren't factored in week to week. And they, you know what you can't factor in when you're purely looking at statistics, and this is why statistics are just one measure to assess what a team is or is not, but not the only measure. Is, the statistics can't tell you about the morale in that locker room. Do they want to play football, or has it been beaten out of them? Have they had their heart broken one too many times, or do they care to show up and play to their ability?
Well, and this is also a game where linebacker play is going to be very important.
Yeah, and it's wildly inconsistent here. And
Yes.
it has been for some time, and it's why people want Bill Miller fired. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that you factor in beyond just the models.
I mean, there were a ton of linebackers playing on Saturday. Obviously, had Dontavius and Matthew Thomas, but then Adonis Thomas comes in, gets a little bit lost
Got
on the
pulled
play.
out.
And Leonard Warner comes in and plays in this football game.
No, there was some frustration there. You have, listen.
Emmett Rice plays.
This is part of a larger issue that we talk about often, unfortunately, whether it's on the air or off the air or in the stands or up on the roof of the press box or in the press box or driving down the road or laying in your bed staring at the ceiling. Why do we look like we don't know what we're doing on defense? Why when you watch certain series anyhow and decisions that are made to defend certain types of offenses, do we not look like we know what we're doing? I mean, it's a simple question, but it's one that's asked repeatedly. And if that's the case, you have to make changes. And it is the case. Because you asked that question doesn't mean that, A, it's coached that way, but it's executed that way. It also doesn't mean that it's coached properly. I don't know. I can't see practice. I do watch the games, and I know what you're supposed to do in a lot of those situations. And two guys filling the same hole while allowing the Heisman Trophy winner to run free to the outside with nobody within 10 yards of him is not one of them. So we're done. We're just done with that, and that's the other thing, is you make certain assumptions when you look at win-loss probabilities and all of that other stuff about people playing to max efficiency and playing, you can't account for certain other things like turnover luck. I got you. But when you look at this game, the bells and whistles, we see it every time we go up there. It's usually a dead atmosphere. It's annoying. And you don't, if you don't care to be there, it can get rolling the wrong way. I've seen a lot of good teams go up there and have some staggering results. Me and Bomani Jones sat here and talked on the air that time and laughed ourselves silly about the 500-plus yards rushing that Boston College had against Southern Cal. But that's not the only time that I've been watching one of those games there. Well, there's nothing else on. It's late on a Friday. I'll throw this on. Holy moly, BC is bludgeoning so-and-so because they'll get that ball going downhill and they'll run it, and you have to decide whether or not you want to stop it. And it's not as simple as, we're being tricked by a certain type. No, it's a matter of heart, want to. Run defense is tough, man, especially against big backs. Got to be willing to sacrifice your body and all that. I'd love to say that this will follow the model, that 28-21, 31-21, something like that, the Noles will win the game. But, this has been anything but a traditional and typical week-to-week affair where you can kind of predict based on talent level that the game's going to go a certain way. Really haven't been able to predict that other than to say that I'm fairly certain it's not going to happen the way that we would project it to happen based on those talent levels.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Landowners, Mahindra's inventory clearance sale is going on now. We're reducing prices like never before on the toughest utility vehicles on earth. Like a Mahindra XTV 750S as low as $135 a month. Or get up to $3,450 in cash back and savings. Plus, Mahindra's 3-year limited powertrain warranty comes standard.
I'm talking tough, like a state of mind. Tough, like a soldier on the front line. Tough when it gets rough, like my Ford truck, always enough. I'm talking tough.
Franklin Spring Creek Ford, the place to find your next truck in southern Georgia.
I'm talking tough.
Hey y'all, we're Chris and Preston from Low Cash. Head to Franklin Spring Creek Ford and see them about all of your vehicle needs.
And great food at Miller's Ale House on Appalachia Parkway.
Don't just listen to The Jeff Cameron Show. Watch it live. The Jeff Cameron Show Streamcast. Live weekdays 3 to 6 p.m. Head to ESPNTallahassee.com today to watch live or catch up on demand. The Jeff Cameron Show Streamcast. Brought to you by Nice Tire and Auto, your trusted Goodyear dealer. 574-4100. And presented by TNT Supercenter in Thomasville, Georgia. And Franklin Spring Creek Ford.
Hi, Chris Kraft for Kraft Nissan. Once again, all of you with stellar credit ratings, congratulations. And this message is not for you. All year I've been talking about our New For You program to assist good people with dings in their credit. And just last week, a friend of mine came into my office worried about his own credit rating. But thanks to our New For You program, you guessed it, he drove away in a brand new Nissan Altima. We are proud of the fact that we have helped hundreds of people that were previously limited shopping little used car lots where they overpaid, got huge finance charges, and had very few choices on cars to purchase. Some of those lots may actually hurt your credit more than they could ever help. So remember, credit score under 600? Come on in. Recent bankruptcy? Come on in. Recently divorced? Come on in. Think you have a financial problem we've never heard of? Come on in to Kraft Nissan. And come see the one dealer in Tallahassee that can really help you out. Come see the cars that everyone wants at the hottest dealer in town, Kraft Nissan. And remember, if you don't see the Kraft tag on your car, you paid too much, way too much. Kraft Nissan on Mahan Drive between Academy Sports and Costco, or visit us on the web at craftnissan.com.
This Day in Sports, brought to you by Superlube. Superlube, 19 Tallahassee area locations. Quick, convenient, no appointment necessary.
This Day in Sports History.
October 25th, 1986. With the Red Sox 1 out away from winning their first World Series since 1918, Mookie Wilson hit a grounder that went through the legs of first baseman Bill Buckner and plated the winning run in the 10th inning for a 6-5 victory at Shea Stadium. The Mets would go on to win Game 7 and continue the curse of the Bambino.
The secret to better gas mileage and a longer-lasting engine? Superlube it every 3 months or 3,000 miles. The secret to even better gas mileage? Fuel Joules, a gas tank additive that'll increase your MPG by as much as 7%. And today, when you change your oil at Superlube, you get a free bottle of Fuel Joules. Crystal Matthews and Amber Cossack own Solid Start, the company that makes Fuel Joules.
Every time we sell a bottle of Fuel Joules, a donation will be made to the National Breast Cancer Foundation.
In October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
There are 19 Tallahassee area Superlubes. There's probably one right around the corner right now. Free offer valid without coupons or discounts.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. Here's what's happening. Game 2 of the World Series in the spotlight for the Dodgers and Astros. Rich Hill, Justin Verlander. Game 2, 7 Eastern, ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. NFL, as expected, injured Dolphins quarterback Jay Cutler out tomorrow night against the Ravens. Left tackle Laramie Tunsil is questionable. Browns rookie Myles Garrett in the concussion protocol. No word yet if he'll travel with the team for Sunday's game in London. The Browns named Deshaun Kaiser their starting quarterback for Week 8. In Sunday's loss, Kaiser was pulled for the second time in the last 3 games. NBA news, Sixers rookie Markelle Fultz with a shoulder injury out the next 3 games. He will be reevaluated next Tuesday night. And Cleveland's Dwayne Wade is out tonight against the Nets due to a left knee contusion.
The Nissan Heisman House is back. Rush over to NissanHeismanHouse.com to enter for a chance to win a new Nissan Titan. No purchase necessary. Ends December 8th, 2017. Open to residents of the USDC 18 or older. Official rules at NissanUSA.com/Heisman House Sweepstakes. Live from the Dale Earnhardt Jr. Buick GMC Cadillac Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. And oh, by the way, let's do some good stuff here. Before I get to that, I should remind you of this. It is time for the 11th annual Brewfest. Over 200 beer varieties with unlimited sampling presented by the Tallahassee Sunrise Rotary Club. Come sample varieties of craft beer to learn what you like. You got to. The event is just a few days from now, October the 28th, from 5 to 8 p.m., held at the Antique Car Museum. And since the Knowles play on Friday, you'll either be celebrating on into Saturday afternoon or drowning your sorrows, perhaps. General admission is $39 with food available for purchase. VIPs, exclusive access from 4 to 5 p.m. All net proceeds do go to charity. Brewfest sells out quickly. You're going to want to get your tickets right now. So if you don't win the pair I'm going to give away now, 5, 4,
caller 1.
Then you go to brewfesttallahassee.com or visit the Facebook page for event details. All right, pair of tickets right now. Caller 1-523-3776. Fire it up.
Ooh,
yeah, baby.
I see a winner.
Couple of tickets.
There will be more.
There will be more. There will be more. If you didn't win this pair right here, right here, understand we've got more to give away tomorrow. That's a good thing. All right.
Should be hopefully good weather. I see that that's the day kind of circled for the secondary front that's coming in. Hopefully it holds off from, let's say 4 to 5. How about 4 p.m. to 5 p.m.?
So that might be the time where the VIP folks are going to go and have some tasty beverages of their own. And are you saying you're a VIP?
Okay, how about 4 to 8 p.m.? Let's just rain all the rest of the day. Who cares? But 4 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Mr. Verlander in 4 elimination games. 1.48 is the ERA, as some say. 33 Ks, 8 walks. Opponents are hitting a cool $180 off of them, and that's in over 30 innings pitched in the postseason, going all the way back to the World Series 2006. And, time and again, he's been absolutely dominant when you've had to have it.
Yeah, not an elimination game tonight, but a pretty important one. You don't want to go back to Houston down 0-2.
Yeah, and I meant to extrapolate that out. His record from elimination games in the postseason, yes, that one was before the last game he pitched when facing elimination against the Yankees.
Which was okay.
Which was spectacular. And what I meant to tell you was that all-time postseason, he has been nothing short of brilliant as well. But now that number is, oh, my goodness, we're up over 37 innings now with 40 Ks and opponent's batting average under 170. So,
well, that's the thing. Eventually you go back enough and you're looking at a couple of months of a season in a sense. That's how many starts you have, innings pitched you have.
Well, and what's cool is we always say, guys, we like guys who have brilliant careers, and he's got a Hall of Fame career. He's been able to kind of obviously do this for a long time now. He's 34 years old, and he's been dominant. You love when guys pitch to the back of their baseball card, and he's done better than that. And sometimes that's just, you're a little bit lucky, but stepping it up in situations that are critical, I mean, that goes a long way in your lore.
Well, and that's the thing with Justin Turner. Now he's starting to get up there because he's had, I think, now close to 120 at-bats in the postseason, and he's hitting a cool 360 for his postseason career. I mean, he's a career 300 hitter, so he's no slouch when it comes to actually going through the grind to 162. But in October, that dude is just, I mean, between him and when Murphy from a couple of years ago.
Oh, well, and Murphy carried it over to the next year to the season.
Right, but that series, that NLCS.
It was crazy, yeah.
Turner would have been the MVP of the series had the Dodgers won it. but Murphy just did him one better in one particular series. But Turner's been lights out for several years now.
Yeah, and it's funny because I don't know where I stand on all of that still. I mean, Poppy was the ultimate one, right, where we would go, well, sweet Jesus, man, look at this freaking guy every time. And it wasn't every time, but it felt like every time, and it certainly was above and beyond the back of the baseball card. Sometimes I don't know if that's laser-like focus brought on by the intensity of the moment or not. I don't know. You know, that's where people try to use words like clutch, which usually aren't applicable in baseball, but, I mean, it's...
But I think there's something to it. Look at Verlander's numbers in elimination games.
Yeah.
There are some people who want the extra, whatever that extra is.
Yeah, and I think there are a lot of people who want it, but only few who can channel it. I think that sometimes the want is actually an adversary. I think that's a problem. That oftentimes not being at one in that moment with the sequence and everything else you need to succeed in a game as difficult as baseball. I think sometimes that want throws you off of that, whereas sometimes it can fuel it and take it to another level, and you get the extra MPH or whatever you need if in the case of a pitcher. You know, your adrenaline you harness in a way that allows you to succeed. It's like guys who learn how to win on the PGA Tour.
Right.
You know, they've been in those moments enough times to know they're going to get an extra 10 yards on this swing regardless if they do everything exactly the same.
Well, that's the thing, too. And do you come out of yourself? Outside of yourself, or do you stay who you are? Like if you're not a rah-rah guy, you can't become a rah-rah guy in Game 7.
Right. You got to be who you are. You got to get to that place, right? And and by the way, being in it, I mean, this is where you get into, you know, some of the Zen-like stuff we talk about where players are able to channel that and find a focus where everything moves as one. And I've never been there. It's like these runners that find runners high and just talk about things feel like pistons and they can't even tell they're running and they're at one with their body and they allow themselves to get there. I've never allowed myself to get there. I see the tree up there that's 100 yards away and I go, damn it, that's 100 yards away and I don't have to be running. I wish I was different, but I'm not. It's Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
In a bedroom.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Landowners, Mahindra's inventory clearance sale is going on now. We're reducing prices like never before on the toughest tractors on earth. Like a Mahindra Emax 22 as low as $99 a month. Or get up to $8,100 in cash back and savings. Plus, Mahindra's 7-year limited powertrain warranty comes standard.
I'm talking tough, like a state of mind. Tough, like a soldier on the front line. Tough when it gets rough, like my Ford truck, always enough. I'm talking tough.
Franklin Spring Creek Ford, the place to find your next truck in southern Georgia.
I'm talking tough.
Hey y'all, we're Chris and Preston from Low Cash. Head to Franklin Spring Creek Ford and see them about all of your vehicle needs.
And the only remedy is that neon green potion. Right now, your mouth could be tongue bathing in the refreshing citrus kick of Mountain Dew. Instead, it feels like you've been motorboating King Tut's sarcophagus. Show some mercy. Crack open an ice-cold Mountain Dew. You know your mouth wants you to. Do the do.
RCD Shell has great prices on Mountain Dew Kickstart cans and Dew 20-ounce flavors like Code Red and Voltage, all just 99 cents. Stay hydrated and recharged with the energy boost you need to keep going strong with Kickstart and Code Red and Voltage, all just 99 cents at RCD Shell stores.
Football season is in full swing, and so is AAA One Transmission. AAA One Transmission is locally owned and operated by Tim Pridgeott, who's been servicing the Tallahassee area for over 37 years. Brakes, transmissions, electrical systems, tune-ups, and battery checks. No matter what ails your vehicle, AAA One Transmission can make your automobile healthy again. Don't put off your auto repairs. Stop it at 1023 North Monroe Street or call them at 222-2532.
You're listening to The Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Beef Up Radio.
Show 97.9 ESPN Radio. Simeon Rice serious about making a comeback at 43 years old? I'm intrigued.
Very intrigued.
I am indeed. He can't be any worse than what Tampa Bay's currently got going on.
Well, I mean, if Dwight Freeney wants to do it every single year, kind of like the Roger Clemens plan, I'll come in for just these specific moments.
He's tweeted out, I stay ready if Tampa Bay wants a dominant. If Tampa Bay wants a dominant, the will, the call, this is a nonsensical tweet. Sorry, I shouldn't try to read tweets from players and people just in general throwing out nonsense.
Correct.
Yes, especially not having previewed the tweet before I clicked on it just to see what he was saying. Anyhow.
But what's he telling you? What's he saying?
What he's telling you is he wants to come back and play for Tampa Bay and that he believes that he can still dominate, and he tweets out a video of his workout. And admittedly, at 43 years old, to look at that man working out is something to behold. He is in incredible shape.
He's a peer of yours.
A peer of mine. He's younger. It's remarkable. But anyhow, the point would be we can't do worse.
Man, I bet you we'd have at least 2 more forced fumbles than we'd have without Simeon, because nobody had better instincts to get the ball out of a quarterback's hands than the Simeon SWAT with Simeon Rice.
Bring him in. Let's get a look at him. I don't care about that age. We've seen guys out there doing remarkable things now into their late 30s. What's to say that he can't break a new barrier, get into those early 40s?
Plus, how long has it been since the wear and tear of football has made it on his body?
That's true. Let's do a little What's on Tap, shall we?
Ready for a cold one? Proof Brewing Company in Railroad Square Art Park presents What's on Tap. So, Jeff, what'll it be?
Hearty happy birthday to Tom Lang, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey.
31 years old today. All right. I don't know. So what? I don't care what I'm doing. What are you doing, man? It's a shame that it's on a Wednesday, admittedly. If this were a Friday of game night, or maybe even a Saturday after the game is over with, you could really do it up for your birthday, which we still could. But being that you're responsible in your older age these days, you're taking it easy during the week for sure.
It wasn't that long ago that my birthday was on a Thursday, and I'm sure you could do the calculations with the leap year and all that. The Bucks played the Vikings on a Thursday night football. And the Bucks summarily dismissed the challenge of the Vikings, beat them into the ground.
As they're wont to do in other years.
Friday was a little bit dicey, you know?
You struggled that
Friday.
Friday.
The morning I was like, oh, boy.
Yeah.
No more of that, unless there's a Friday birthday or a Saturday birthday. So tonight, it's dinner and the deck or outdoor dinner and then inside to watch the game. But I want to be on a deck somewhere.
Somewhere to be outdoors, yes.
I'm going to breathe in this fresh air.
Oh, got to.
Man, even looking out my bedroom window last night as I was going to put my head on the pillow, you can see the stars with clarity because of the weather and how nice and thin the air is. The visibility is through the roof.
Tom Wayne, that just makes me want to take a nap. That sounds so lovely there, that you were looking out at the stars, pondering what it means to be turning 31 years old as we drift off to sleep in a cool evening.
I wasn't even soul searching. I thought, wow, those are brilliant out there.
By the way, 31 is oddly, and I'll ask you, it's your 31st birthday, one that I went through many years ago now.
Indeed.
Many moons ago, since we're talking about the moonlight sky. But I will ask you, 31 was not a soul searcher for me.
No. No, this one. No, it's just this one to me cements that I'm out of my 20s. You know, it's like in case I thought maybe I could go back in time. It's like nah. Now you're 31. Now you're kind of comfortably out of the 20s.
Yeah. No, I said for many years that I thought 30 to 35 was really enjoyable. 30s in general were really enjoyable. You really can kick away the nuisance of youth in a way. I mean, there are some things that the youthful mistakes you cannot avoid. You see the pitfalls. I can't do that. That's a poor decision.
Sure. Well, and if I did try to do that, I'd do it on a Saturday. Yeah. and then know on Sunday that I failed.
Those might not leave you. Those might follow you into your 40s occasionally. Just saying. People say occasionally that still follows you into your 40s.
Well, the most important thing tonight is I just want to breathe that fresh air outside. Oh man, the snap in the air. It's gonna be here for like a night, and then we'll get the low.
It's more than that. Buddy.
Well, no, but it's supposed to climb a little bit back up into the 50s. At night.
Yeah.
And then we need to rain on Saturday a little bit in order for us to get what we need to get. Another snap cold front for a few days. And then it's 70s and 50s, upper 50s next week. So tonight, man, that's just it's like a sneak preview of the 2-week actual winter we get in, say, January.
The other part of what's on tap will be me watching, as will be you on a deck or at home, or depending on how you want to do it. I'm sure Houston and Los Angeles, we were treated to a fun game, I thought, last night. I like seeing dominant pitching. I do like to see a guy who's all-time great, Hall of Fame great, have that game that helps him shake some of the criticisms. And I was happy for Kershaw with the 11 Ks. He looked so dynamic early in this game. You realized Houston was going to have a long night. I would even say the one where he got hurt was a good pitch. Guy got his hands to it. It's a good pitch. Game begins with a bang on a ball that is hit to the moon. And I thought of you because I know he's a former Met, and there are a couple of them out there.
Oh, sure.
And I know what that feels like to see a guy who did nothing for you, was useless. And I'm not talking about Turner.
Yeah.
You go Taylor and these other guys. You got useless.
Yeah. I was going to say, Turner was all right. That was hard to watch Turner walk because he'd hit you 280, 290, and he'd play 4 different positions.
His story is pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's a weird story.
He's also a weird guy. He's perfect for SoCal.
Yeah.
They asked him after the game, what are you going to do? He says, well, I've nothing really. I just got a puppy at home who's going to be excited to see me come home.
Which is really cool.
Yeah.
And by the way, I know some of it's the 100-plus degree temperatures and all that. How he hit that ball out of the park that's up in the quadrant.
Matthew hates the home run. Yeah.
Well, it's a ridiculous home run, but it's not because he's cheating. It's
right.
How you turn to get to that is amazing.
Well, yes, exactly. I think there's more skill involved in that than, let's say, Derek Jeter hitting one off the trademark 310 down the line to right.
Well, much more.
Yep.
You
got to earn it a little bit.
Glad to see that ballpark's not in play in the World Series.
Yeah.
Even though I like the energy.
Right.
The energy's great. The dimensions, not so much.
But, there is that short portion left for games 3, 4, and 5. Assuming there will be a non-sweep World Series here.
There will be a non-sweep World Series, my friend. This should be interesting. Verlander has been a great story as well.
It's a big game.
It's yes, it is, and he has been a big game pitcher. So our thanks to What's on Tap, and our thanks to Proof Brewing Company for sponsoring What's on Tap. Proof Brewing Company since 2007, offering Tallahassee's finest craft beer selections, their massive tap room in Railroad Square Art Park, and canned deliciousness in stores near you.
They offer a hearty happy 31st anniversary to Mookie Wilson for hitting the dribbler down the line underneath Bill Buckner's legs.
Yeah, and it gets through Buckner.
Little roller up along first. Behind the bag. It gets through Buckner.
It's going to score.
And the Mets win it.
Yeah. And I was watching it. Crazy. And remember exactly where I was at a birthday party. And now forevermore it is linked with your birthday, which I think is cool.
Must be really cool for my dad. I'll talk to him a little bit later on tonight. But, that's his team. It could have been a memorable World Series with, say, Kansas City and the Dodgers. They'd say, remember that game when you were born? That was one of the great games.
But instead, it's his team.
It was his
in this
freaking
miraculous moment. No, I agree. Anyhow, happy birthday, brother. You know I love you.
Thanks,
and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Be well. Hey, Front Row Knowles up next.
That's
Stay
correct.
tuned. All right. Sounds good. Bye, everybody.